Hello, hello. I had an idea. I have to wait for Enfield. And I was like, well, instead of being... Oh, my controller doesn't work today. If there's day when the teacher's in the class... Oh, you go early. Oh, makes sense. So I have... So my question was... Can I just do some... No, not this. No. Wait, how do you do SPB attack? Is it on time attack? Oh, it has to be SPB attack. Oh, that's on gear 3. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate.
What's happening?
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, this is in core as well. I am already streaming.
Oh, okay, that explains why.
Yeah.
I joined to you already talking, and I'm like, what?
But I'm just doing some time trialing, so feel free to do all your usual thing. God damn it. Wait, is SPB attack always on Encore? The music is lower? Let's see. Should we go hard speed today?
Sure, I'm down. I'd never say no to going faster.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, SPB attack is interesting. Oh, I'm dead.
I just need to launch ring
It's very
racers.
boring. Inconsistent. And then core map looks amazing. I wish we could just play in core. Can we just do art and core?
What does encore mean?
Flip.
Sure.
I don't know how to enable that though.
I feel like I'm going to regret this.
Oh, I'm just as not prepared as you are, don't worry.
Ring
Yeah.
racers. That's working, so all I need to
That's
do now
not
is
good.
get Snip ready. Spotify.
Also, remember to change your mic.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Why is Santa writing to me?
Okay, open Snip. Start streaming.
Oh, fuck this direction.
Hit play.
Oh, thank god they have fucking... All the musics are split shifted, interesting. Yeah, I got the emblem. Oh, that gives you emblems? Man. Okay, I'll go into the server and figure out how to do the changes.
Okay.
Okay. So what I want is kart speed R Oh, it's not called kart speed now. Oh my god. I have to figure out what it's called. 1 second. Okay, so
Oh yeah, you gotta love how everyone is now sponsored by Apple TV.
I hope that just means that they're having a terrible, like really bad time.
Probably. It's like if you subscribe to anybody on Twitch, you get 3 months free of Apple TV. It's like such a low bar requirement.
Yeah, got the distract. I'll be
Do
there in a minute.
something you'd
Okay, no
probably do
problem.
anyway.
I am.
Uh,
Oh, it's game speed. Okay, game speed.
God, and
Are
it's like
glitches. Is it not Gear 3 anymore? Gear 3? What? What the fuck? Oh, does it have to be like this? That's weird. Okay, how do I... Uh-oh. Encore, yes? On? Encore mode will be on next round, but will always be on. Cool, I guess I just played. Oh wait, I can just...
yeah, I can go live now, so I'll do that.
Okay. Your new intro is so nice. You have to depixelate the starting soon though.
Oh, yeah, that was just like a rush job because I didn't have time to do any other assets.
Uh-oh. I'm noting something.
I'll probably try and figure something out on a day off.
Oh,
Actually, is my audio working just to make sure? Yes.
So, I
I need to turn off Spotify.
But hopefully it's not something that will curse me. I got really angry playing Zero Ranger. The point that it's one of those rare times where I threw my controller. And I had to put it back together because of course it's snapped in half.
Oh god.
Now the L bumper doesn't state it, they get stuck pressed.
I could not imagine you getting that mad at a game. Jesus.
Zero Ranger is one of those. Well, usually I stop playing them before I get to that point. But Zero
Isn't
Ranger
that
is
the
a
game?
very compelling game.
Isn't that the game with like the cactus girl?
What?
Or am I getting mixed up? Or no, I think that was Zero Ranger 2.
What?
Is Zero Ranger the tank game that's like pixel art?
No, it's a shoot 'em up.
Okay, I got completely mixed up on the actual game. I thought it was like, maybe it was like Zero Master or something was the game I was thinking of. I can't remember. I remember having Zero in the name.
Oh, think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name. It is zero something. No, it ends with zero maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think I know what you mean though. I had it on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember as people really liked Cactus Girl.
It's a neat game. If we're talking about the same game. 'Cause again,
Well,
now
actually,
I'm
was she a
starting-
cactus? I remember she had like a pot for her head, and then there was like a plant growing out of it. And then...
Okay, I think we might be talking about different games then.
I feel like I'm crazy now.
But still, even that, like the tank bit, Master Blaster Zero on Switch.
Okay,
Yeah,
Master Blaster.
Blaster- That's the one I thought. Okay, because I know they made the Zero 2, but I haven't seen the second one. I only played almost all of the first one. Which, by the way, I seen it compared to the original NES version, and it's one of the sports that are really well done.
Fair. But yeah, it's like in the sequel they added in this like plant girl, and then basically it's just that character in a game where like the fan base is like obsessed with them doing fan art because of their like design. Wait, were they a watermelon? Maybe they were a watermelon. That makes more sense.
I can make the game more loud though, so it isn't very loud right now.
Master Blaster 2.
Welcome, Cash, to the ring.
Plant Girl.
Today's extra course. Everything is Gear 3 and everything is Encore.
What type of plant is she?
I'm not ready for it. No one's ready for it.
Wait, some of the art has her as a cactus, some of it implies she's a watermelon. I guess she's just like multiple plants? I don't know. She has a flower pot for a head and plant themed. I'd look deeper, but I need to race.
Yeah, just race.
Oh god, I saw Noodle's newest video, which is basically covering the MotorStorm games. God, it makes me really want to try and learn how to animate cars. Because they had a low poly artist come in and like do animations of like basically cars just like doing MotorStorm stuff, and I was just like, it looks so good that I'm like, I want to do that so bad.
I don't remember
Animate
what the
it.
fuck happened, but I remember like I used to look up to him, and then he made a video where it was clearly wrong. And I was like, I don't care about him anymore. So I saw the MotorStorm video pop up, and I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit.
I'm trying to think of what video that could have been.
Must have been kind of recent. The one about
He
VR
did
was
one
so
on like
cool.
how like screens or like how like movie screens are being ruined or whatever because they keep trying to make them longer and longer or something.
What?
But like I doubt it. Would it be that? I don't know. What did he recently cover?
Man, he made a video about like how we can use VR to have, like the VR experience, like the movie experience, and then he made a 2D version. I'm like, that felt like chickening out. It should have kept the only the VR version up, because it was still watchable. You can watch it with the 360 viewer from YouTube.
I think it's like probably just fair, but it's like I think it's like if I remember right, it's probably just the immense backlog of people that would refuse to watch it, and then it's a case of like you can't pay people if you don't get that ad revenue.
Yeah,
Because he does animate like a
expensive.
full team of people is the
Okay,
thing. It's
but you
not
have to
just
understand,
him.
The whole point of that video only comes across if you watch it. with that player or in VR or whatever. Like
Fair.
I tried rewatching the 2D version and it completely misses everything. It doesn't work anymore.
I don't think I watched the VR version. I'll need to go back and watch that version, I suppose.
I'll check his.
But yeah, no, I remember he had the two versions, yeah, and then I was kind of like, I'll watch the VR one eventually, but then it was just like so much effort to get around to watch it properly in VR.
I don't remember which video. It's been a lot of videos. And...
It was the one I was talking about screens and like movies. Like if I just go noodle.
That was really good. But I don't know which other video. Might be not. It might be.
Oh no, yeah, how TV screens made watching movies worse, because
I
that's
know
the
that
VR
one.
video.
That's the one I've been talking about. That one is a good video, provided you watch the proper version.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying because he chickened out and did the 2D one. Okay, I got mixed up. Sorry.
It was something else. I don't remember.
So I doubt it would be he played every single Frogger game just to feel something.
I mean, it was. I think I watched it because I remember playing the PS1 Frogger game as a kid and really liking it. And by playing the PS1,
Fair.
I mean I played the PC port of the PS1. Of course.
Fair. I don't think I've ever played a Frogger game. Like maybe the original in some kind of arcade collection, but that's about it.
I didn't play. I had in front of me a proper Frogger arcade cabinet and I didn't play it.
Well,
I am totally okay with that. There were better games to play.
I mean, that sounds like what would be the case. Yeah, it would be like, it's like if it was like, if you were desperate, I guess. Like it was probably good at the time, but like things have gone places now.
Well, that was like a retro arcade. They had all the retro games.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was in the US where they have the fucking barcade, which is such a cool place.
Oh, the one in Dublin's pretty good too. I say it probably doesn't have as many good, like, not as much stuff, but like, yeah, I enjoyed going to the one in Dublin.
Good stuff is the popular stuff. Like you can't go wrong.
Oh.
Like, you know, I played my
Okay.
PD, I played my Millipede, I played fucking Berserk. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait, I didn't play Berserk. I played Frenzy.
Hello, Minty. Oh, hey, Luz. I need to do the fur toggle, but I'm also racing, so. Oh god. So yeah. Hey, oh god. No. Yeah.
Damn it,
Also, thank you for hitting me in the face, Minty, so I'd see the fur toggle.
I feel. Yeah. I was thinking something
Hey.
else.
Oh, you can go now. I should leave this mall, I think. Oh, that was pretty good.
I made an order from Fort Wall for Arwick merch, and I ordered 2 t-shirts and a sticker. I was like, wow, the shipping feels quite expensive. Maybe I'll throw in like another shirt. Turns out they ship it from different places. The shirt gets shipped from like somewhere, like I don't know where, but I just received a letter containing just the one sticker, and I had to pay like €3 of customs on it. Like,
Oh
bro,
god.
what the fuck? Fucked up.
Oh my god, I timed it perfectly. Yes. Yes. Too fast. Too fast. Oh god.
Never
I'm
fucking
joking
buy
hard.
stickers on Fort Wall. That's the lesson, I think.
Fair.
So when
Reminds me I never
when
actually-
like, the marquee stuff, which is also on Fort Wall. The shipping was very light, like a
Oh.
couple euros.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, there's
Reminds me, I
though.
need to get around to designing some merch. Not to sell, because I don't have an audience, but just for myself. uh... Ooh.
There was a video like a few days ago. Was it a few days ago? No, I think it might be a bit more actually. On scented candles. There's a great channel called Answer in Progress where they look into shit, and one of them was like, why are scented candles so fucking expensive? How much would it cost to just make it myself? Turns out, a lot actually.
Oh.
She made her own scented candle and it cost like $42 to make.
God.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, apparently the whole point is that, well, the point of a scented candle is the scent. There are like only 4 companies in the world that make scented oils, and of course they don't run a fair business.
Oh, okay.
All those oils are most of the pricing.
Yeah. A monopoly. Thank you for hitting me in the face. This is something I was expecting to hear today. Minty, I've said it before, I'm pretty sure. This isn't the first time you hit me in the face, and I've thanked you for it.
Yeah, I got hot.
I am doing so bad. I am doing a terrible job showing this game off to Les, who I don't know. Maybe Les plays it. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh. Better than Mario.
Original speed?
No. I just choked on this stage. I was like, I won one of the races. Like,
it's ice. Everything ice and everything
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. I imagine it hasn't been, but still. But
I saw that round dirty. I have stopped paying attention. Yes, I'll be honest. This kind of must make my brain turn off.
fair.
Wait 1 second, I need to check something.
Yeah, looking at the Niddle videos, I can't really like why games are too big. Maybe.
I don't know, man. That's been too
much. Okay. I got bullied.
Yeah, and I fucked up anyway.
Why, Ash? Why?
My map didn't get chosen. I'm not mad, this map is good, but... Come on.
What map were you going for?
Blue Mountain.
Oh, okay. If it's still there, I'll pick it next time. Banana, no!
No, that wasn't enough to get fucking...
Oh, I got a spray paint can accidentally. I'll take it.
God damn.
Oh god. Where am I? Wow, that fucking invincibility got me real far. That missile is useless. It sucks so bad in this game.
Really
I remember
does.
when the missile was terrifying. No! I've thrown out a mine and you immediately hit me into it. Oh my god.
Good.
Oh, look what I got again.
God damn it!
I'll take it, game.
Oh, I wanted to get invincibility and I got this instead. I'm gonna lose.
I feel like I should not have
What
gotten
the
invincibility.
fuck?
I was like third.
Oh, I lost this because I hit a Orbina and the freeze frames were not forecast to pass me.
I'm starting to get a bit worried.
I
Oh
just
my
got
god.
frozen play
Oh
for a
god.
long time. Oh, freeze frame was so funny.
Sentai with the Council of Cats.
As usual. Does Kurt even stream still? Never see him online.
Wait, does who still stream?
The streamer that asked those cats emote.
Oh.
Because those are not standard Twitch emotes, those are subscriber emotes.
Yeah. I got that, I just
Actually,
didn't know
two
where
of
they were
them are
from.
another person which I don't know.
What the Sigma?
But why did I hear the Minecraft explode? No! You son of a bitch.
It's too easy.
I'm baby.
Damn it.
Oh fuck. Yeah, so it's like we're currently doing on Gear 3, which is the fastest speed in the game, because normally we would play on Gear 2 and then the
Wow.
lowest is Gear 1.
The fastest speed in the game that you can play in a server.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because in solo you can go up to like Gear 4 or something,
A
right?
hidden cheat code to enable Gear 4, which is cursed.
So like think of like I guess the Mario Kart equivalent would be like CCs. That's the thing, right? Like the higher the CC, the faster you go.
Differences between gears.
Yeah.
So on the easiest difficulties, the slopes don't affect your speed as much. While here, your
No,
speed
springs.
changes quite drastically.
This map feels dirty.
It's not just a speed increase, basically.
Yeah. I did not mean to go in there. I did not know you could go in there. I guess that explains how you get the spray can. But yeah, this game is entirely free. Servers like open. So I don't know. And we play it every Wednesday. Ah!
Damn it.
Yeah, I missed the spray can. So the spray cans are collectible, and basically there's one every stage, and if you collect it, you get a different color for your kart racer. Because I'm Whisper the Wolf right now, but I painted myself white because colors that VTuber.
Could stream sometimes, but it's pretty busy work and stuff. I'm glad he and Rebel were able to improve the living situation. No.
Ooh.
If it gets too depressing, we can get out of Encore. The music, the tone that like the pitch down music is kind of depressing.
That's a weird choice for sure.
Oh, there's some like actually have like different music. Every fucking track is like alternate music. Why did they put one for whatever. Weird people.
Hey. Color YouTuber.
Oh, this is a weird color shift. Yeah, man. Oh, this
I
is
got
worse.
it.
This is a fate worse than that. Yep.
Oh, ah, fuck. I hit a snowman. No! Ow. No, I ran out of the... I was gonna do the better drift. That poor snowman. I'm a monster. Oh god. Ow. Okay, boost, hard drift, get the speed boost.
Damn, I fell. Oh yeah, Ben, I added the noise suppression thingy from OBS. Can you tell me if it sounds any worse than usual?
Back! Those bumper things
Hello,
are so
Festus!
brutal.
Where you been? Has your pseudo regalia obsession finally
Oh. No! I was doing so well! Damn.
Nice. Sounds about the same? Cool. Then it's working at least. Well, at least it's not doing damage.
Look at all the booty.
What you been up to, Bessive? Heavy plus handling of the worst grip. Because you're heavy. Heavy has bad grip. Wait, actually, no. Heavy and handling are like the opposite. You cannot have heavy hand handling.
Man, I can't wait for next week. I'll be on vacation. Ugh.
Bottom left, dum-dum. Yeah, handling is the vertical axis. Top is handling and bottom is heavy. Oh, wait, no, I know what you mean now, actually. No, that's a light. Yeah, so, sorry. It's the same thing, though. Heavy's handle wars.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, what the fuck am I saying? Handling is top. Top is handling and bottom is weight.
Oh my god.
I'm being
Yeah.
fucking...
It's definitely a case of I'm still getting used to the differences with the gears, because it's like some maps it's like enough wiggle room that I can manage, and then some maps it's like I just haven't used to the turning being so sharp. But that'll just come with like practice, you know. Only way to get better is to do it.
The left
Oh
is
my
not
God.
handling, left is acceleration.
Legend of Dragoon, you say? That's one of those like classics, right? That like everyone refers to. Reminds me of, from what I've seen of it, of like Sin and Punishment, where it's like shoot 'em up, like rail shooter, but you know, it's third person. So it's not like Time Crisis, but
You know what's the worst thing?
what?
What do you think I will be doing after the stream?
Playing Ring Racers? I don't know.
Probably Zero Ranger.
Oh,
I wanna beat that
oh, wow!
stupid
Oh, it's an
boss.
addiction. Oh God.
Well, I haven't played all day, which is good.
Yeah, but I think the problem is like it's a game that makes you extremely angry, and you're like, I need to play more.
But I need to beat it.
And it's
And the
single
thing is,
player,
it's not
right?
even the final boss. Well, it is a final boss. It's not the real final boss.
It reminds me of people with like addictions to like League of Legends, but like is it worse that it's a single player title and you don't even have to worry about peer pressure?
No, actually, it's better if it's a single player title, and then it ends.
True.
It's over. It's over. And I'll be happy.
Well, unless you play it
League of
again.
Legends never ends.
God,
Unless
this
you play
is
what?
brutal. Unless you play it again.
Well, the thing is, the reason that's pushing me is the story.
Fair, and then that's gone at the yeah. Is there not a difficulty so you can bump it down, or?
No, it's difficult. It's the whole point.
Oh, okay, so it's like a Dark Souls type deal.
It does have an easy mode actually, but it has its own thing, its own progression.
Apparently, I'm a lot
Funny
higher
enough.
than you or the game.
I'm a lot lighter than you. The game.
Turn me down. Turn me down.
I'm turning you down. You're now turned down.
Okay.
I'll see how that works. So
I like how
it's funny. It does not. Sorry, it does have an easy mode of swords, but also it kind of doesn't.
Oh, okay.
So the main game mode, like it's fixed difficulty, and it's also kind of the point. Like the whole game is like, it's all about like Buddhism and like the trying to attain enlightenment and bettering yourself.
Yeah.
So you can't really add an easy mode because that would kind of break the message. But the developer did want to add an easy mode because they're not idiots that think that Dark Souls is the best game ever made. So it took them 2 years, and they added a new game mode, which is at the same time the easy mode and also the artist mode.
Oh.
And the way it works is it's way easier to finish to get the end, but it's way harder to get like good score.
Oh,
It is
okay.
way faster paced because instead of, have you ever played shmups like Toho's?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like usually one.
Have I
big-
ever
like
played
every
Toho?
stage is like just a big ass corridor where enemies come in and whatnot.
Yeah.
So for the easy mode, they instead remix all the levels. They shuffle, like they eliminate all the parts that are like calm. They just give you a frenzy of high action moments. So you play
okay.
every level. It's actually a part of each stage that's been like specifically chosen for being in one of the intensive bits of the game. And they score you on each one of them. Like at the end of each segment, you get scoring.
Oh.
all the scoring mechanics have been revamped. And like, so it's like it's super easy because like you don't have to like on the main mode to get like a good score. You have to like do proper like. You have to keep your chains up and whatnot. In this one, you just have to kill a lot of enemies. And they drop things, and if you get enough of them, you get like a 1-up.
Yeah.
You have 5 continues guaranteed. In the other modes, you have to kind of earn your continues. So it's like it's way easier to get to the end. But if you want to get the top score, you want to get to the true end, it gets way tougher.
I'm starting to get a
I
bit
found it really
worried.
nice because it's still
Reminds
the
me
same,
of Toho actually.
because it's
'cause,
still the same levels underneath. I could practice some of the bosses on the easy mode and then I beat them on the normal mode.
Fair.
Also, while it is a tough game, you can restart from any stage. So, you know, there's that.
Fair.
I can start from the final boss.
It reminds me of. It reminds me a bit of Toho, but like I guess done better in the sense that like Toho has an easy mode. You cannot play like the last level or two if you're playing on easy mode, and you're just told to fuck off and then come back on normal.
Yeah, but that's cheese. Like, this is where the developer basically went, I want to add an easy mode, but it's lame if I just add an easy mode, so let's... What the fuck? I just got Brazil for a few seconds.
I did too earlier.
Oh, I'm still Brazil. Hello? What the fuck?
Oh, you got kicked apparently.
Oh, I got kicked.
Yeah.
Just me.
Just you.
It's my... Oh, my... Yeah, OBS is also not being okay. Yeah, stream is having a moment. I am nosing. What the fuck?
Like,
it seems stable now.
Yeah, like, what was it? In like secondary school, I was a part of like a Toho fandom, and I was like heavily involved.
It should be, right? I'm just gonna watch Cass play.
Oh.
But yeah, so the developer was like, hey, that, like, they added this mode, it's called White Vanilla, and people were like on the there's a Steam discussion called White Vanilla My Ass. This mode is fucking fantastic. Like, it's...
Yeah, it's
Finnish people, they get it.
Yeah. I don't know, it's a thing, it just reminds me of, like, the difficulty question, where, like, I definitely feel like some games should have difficulty options, while, like, others, I think it makes sense for them not to have them, but it's, like... I don't know, it's a bit, like, weird, and then sure, it's objective as well, and then it's kind of, like, goes into the whole, like, our video games are art or whatever, because it's a case of, like, I'm in the camp, I said it before, that, like, I think Dark Souls shouldn't have a difficulty option, because, like, it goes against the entire point and, like, principle of the game. But, where, like, you know, from the beginning, the intent was brutal difficulty to tell a narrative about, like, overcoming, like, brutal situation, essentially.
Yeah, but
and it's kind of like you lose that with difficulty options, but then it's like the story realistically isn't like that, like,
well, it's not like
big of it, like
subjective still.
Yeah, well, like, that's the thing where it's like, from my experience and my interpretation, I think the difficulty should be the way it is, but at the same time, that's my interpretation, my opinion. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of going for, like, artistic intent. Like,
I just died for no reason.
So?
Oh, I just... What? I don't understand what the fuck. Oh, I have my button being all down. Yeah, the...
Because, I don't know, I'm in, like, like I kind of agree with this element that like games shouldn't be designed for games shouldn't be for everyone in the sense that like games should be varied so that way there's something for everybody as opposed to like everything suits everybody so that way it's like you turn down certain aspects so people like so that way the game it's designed like the people a game is designed for would be less enjoyable to accommodate a wider audience. But then, you know, most games should have like stuff like accessibility options and stuff like that's you know, that's always a good thing.
There's a parallel
But
in writing and other media, actually.
oh,
Well, there's some books and some movies that lose meaning when you translate them.
yeah,
So, would you say that it would be worth to not have a translation if it cannot do justice to the entire message?
see that gets weird because then you're going into adaptation.
No, I'm saying
'cause-
the original work. I mean, yeah, a translation is always an adaptation.
Well, like, yeah, it's like, because, like, you can never, like, truly do it one-to-one. See, this is like, oh, God. This is why this shit's complicated, where it's like, I don't know, it's like, this is just the way I feel like, but then at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's a complicated issue. It's not like, it's like very
example is
gray.
Monogatari. I'm watching the Monogatari series, which is fan sub. Monogatari relies like so much on puns in Japanese folklore, which I have no context for. Most of my understanding of Monogatari is people on Reddit explaining the jokes.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a bit worried.
Like, should the adaptation not exist? Should Monogatari remain a Japanese only thing? And if you want to read Monogatari, you just better learn Japanese and all of its history. It's not just a literally thing. Yeah, like to understand humor in a language, you have to be way deeper than just understanding the words.
I mean, I guess to enjoy it the way the author intended, you'd have to. But like with adaptations, it gets a bit different because like it becomes its own entity when it comes to adaptation. Like think of like The Boys. It's like the biggest like Amazon Prime show like right now, and it's like massive, and everybody's talking about it, etc. They like heavily changed it compared to the original, because the original, from what I've mostly heard, is just edgy bullshit and it's just kind of terrible. Like it's like trying too hard to be dark, or like, you know, the story's kind of like ridiculous or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
like the
that's
comic
a
sucked.
different question. That's like someone who decided who took like a deliberate action to change the original. Let's say you know, like at the end, like you say, if adding Dark Souls defeat the purpose, doesn't add making a translation of something that is untranslatable also ruin the message?
Well, you see, like, you could then make the argument where it's like people making Souls-like games. Isn't that just like the equivalently like a translation in this sense? Like like Western studios making a Dark Souls-like.
My question is, should Monogatari not have an adaptation because it kind of defeats the purpose? Oh well, because it's impossible to give it justice that way.
Well, I guess. Well, that's why I said like an adaptation kind of becomes its own thing, because you can't do that, but like, you know, you could make it its own thing. Like Ghost Stories, that exists. That's like an adaptation something from Japan where they went heavily like they completely changed the show in the translation.
Again, that's a deliberate action to change it because they thought it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, but aren't you saying that like if you can't get across all the puns in history, you'd have to change it? So then, what would be the point?
Well, yeah, change it or give up, basically.
Yeah. So then, like, you make it something different. You alter it and then make an adaptation.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work any other way.
Okay.
So So it becomes like a separate thing at that stage, because
You're
the
okay
only way
with
to
that, but you're not
experience it
okay
the
with...
true way with the artistic intent would be to learn like all the history in Japanese or whatever. But that's like unreasonable.
Okay, so why is it reasonable for Dark Souls?
I think I'm getting confused on like the
I'm
what do you mean
comparing
about
the
like the
easy mode in Dark
translation of the
Souls to those adaptations. AKA, the premise is doing it breaks the... You cannot do it in a way that doesn't break the original intent.
See, it gets weird because people argue there are easy modes in the Souls games, but then when you give that explanation, the
I've been
people
told
that
the
want
people
an
that
easy
everybody
mode
wants
get
to...
like
I've been told that part of the reason people are salty about Dark Souls... Again, I don't know how true this is because I have not played Dark Souls more than like 2 hours.
yeah.
Is that people want Dark Souls to be hard because all they do is just grind levels and that's the easy mode, and they just don't want to admit that they are not good enough to finish
the
it
argument
properly.
for it having an easy mode is the director was asked like would you consider adding an easy mode, and he said the easy mode is summoning, which is summoning another player to fight the boss with you and basically just do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that's also
then
something people do.
then there's also like the argument of like some play styles are like insanely easier to play and beat the game with than others. Like typically like magic builds are like busted and kind of make like boss fights way easier. And you can kind of cheese them very easily. So then some people argue that if easy mode would be to like do summons and like play a magic caster. But then like I tried to explain that to, or like when I mentioned that, it's like a case of like, well, that's bullshit because I want to go around with a sword, and it's like, okay, but then you'd have a harder time. But then like, you know, that's your choice to make. Do you want the easier experience or do you want the harder experience? And
How
it's like,
does cheating the game with magic uphold the overcome struggle? I feel like that
it's
just breaks the original intent as you described.
well, it doesn't like trivialize the game. It's still, it's like a case of you're way squishier, but then like you can keep distance, and it like it's an easier play style to go through the game with. It doesn't remove all the difficulty, and like you're very limited on spells and like stuff like that. It's like, you know,
I don't know, man. I found the game to be bad anyway, so...
yeah.
Everyone I see play that game is just an incredibly like boring game of poking.
Yeah,
All
well,
they
it's
do
like,
is get away, poke, get away, poke, get away, like...
yeah, and that's like the gameplay. Like that's the like, you know, it's meant to be like that. But then that's not for everybody, and that's the point where it's like some people really like that gameplay, some people really don't. But then like trying to accommodate more people, you're worsening the experience for the people that enjoy it, but then making it like better for the people that don't. But then you kind of like hit a middle ground where it's just like meh. I feel like if you try and like, I don't know, like some games are designed for niches, but then people see the niche and they want to take part, and then they get like, they're like, well, I should be able to experience if I want to.
I prefer fidelity adaptation part is like, okay, Sentai, but the point with Monogatari is that you cannot have a high fidelity adaptation. Unless you start putting translator notes every other fucking line of dialogue, it is impossible.
I don't know. It's weird because my personal experience with Dark Souls is I probably would have dropped Dark Souls and hated it if it had an easy mode. I got my enjoyment out of it because it forced me to have to like learn and like
Read the novels.
and like,
Yeah,
you know, improve.
Yeah, but getting Psychic-type Pokemon German is an easy mode. You're exploiting an OP mechanic. Kinda, yeah, that's the point. Though, like, I will say, I always said it. One Step from Eden is a good game, but Frost Manify is fucked up. I'm good at it. I'm decently good at the game. But it's kind of insane that I can just pick the one character and I have a guaranteed clear on a fucking roguelike. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, I mean, like, that's entirely fair, Festive. Like, Festive said he gave it, like, multiple tries and just got bored of it every time, and it's like, I probably would have been the same, but it's a case of, like, the difficulty and the challenge engaged me, which is why if I just had the option to turn down the to easy mode and just, like, make encounters easier, I'd hate the game.
Why do you care that there exists an easy mode?
Because it's a case of like I only bet Ornstein and Swell once, and I had like 100 hours and I did like 10 like different playthroughs of trying different builds to beat them, and failed every time until I got the one build I bet them with. It's like,
why
but that like
okay, but you don't have to use easy mode just because it's there.
Yeah, but like the amount of time, it's a case of I'd hit the point where I'm like, I just want to beat the game, put it on easy mode, and then like I lose the enjoyment factor just to see the conclusion to the story. It's like it's I don't know, it's. I just feel like it's counterintuitive to the themes and the narrative that the story is trying to say, but then and it makes it a niche game. Like I'm saying, like it's just it makes the game worse for a lot of people. I'm not denying that.
It has
but
an accessibility menu where you can have infinite dashes and infinite life and whatnot. I just see the point. It hasn't ruined the game for me. It's a fucking hard game. I have to become good at it. But never, not even once, have I thought, I'm just gonna turn on infinite dashes and just trivialize the entire challenge. Because that's why I wanted the game. Like, if the game has no challenge, there's no game for me to play. You think if Zero Ranger had an... Oh god, if it had an infinite continue, maybe. But like, if it had an infinite health, I wouldn't use it. I got kicked out of kart. What the fuck happened there? Hello? Am I dead? What the fuck happened to the stage? Let's the game when you see him play still fresh.
I'm starting to get a bit worried.
As you realize?
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's like and again, it's just my opinion. So
you know what? I'll keep his stream unmuted because it's funny.
Me. Some people
I want to see how long it takes him to realize.
The main argument I had against it is the fact that I want to be able to enjoy the narrative. I shouldn't have to learn how to get good at the game. And I mean that's a fair point, but then like the story's kind of like I don't know. Also, I can't hear you, Ash, if you're still talking.
Bro, yeah, thanks.
Because it looks like you are in the Discord. I don't know. Or in the
okay.
I got removed from the. Okay.
I don't know why the stage just ended randomly.
Okay, that explains things. To be fair, I ended up getting into a very ramble loop because I was like, "Why isn't Ash saying anything?" Oh God!
And I was going like, "How long? I wonder how long it will take him to realize."
I kind of realized it's like, "Oh, you're still talking," but then I'm not hearing anything. I don't know. It's like it's weird and quiet. I'm like, I rambled I over rambled as a result because I was like, something's wrong and I don't know what. But, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just personal opinion, and that's just my opinion. but like, you know, people enjoy things in different ways. It's just the way I enjoy things suits the way Dark Souls currently is. But like, you know, that's not to say that's the same for everybody. That's just my case. So I personally enjoy it less, but like a lot of other people might enjoy it way more.
Play a game, just play it to the end. I feel like there's narrative stuff that you can only get through video games.
Yeah. I mean, like, No More Heroes did a similar thing, but, like, instead of the focus being difficulty, it's like No More Heroes 1 had all of those, like, really shitty part-time jobs you have to do in between levels. And that's literally just to get across the real-life thing of, like, to get where you want to go, you have to do shitty part-time jobs before you make it big.
For example,
Like, you have to start with, like, the trash, basically, or like just like the low point.
My new favorite genre of video games is not fully knowledge-based video games, like Voice Stranger, like Outer Wilds, like Tunic. You cannot adapt those games because the entire point of them is the joy of exploring and discovering mechanics.
Yeah, what was that one, like Animal Cave or something? Like, that's meant to be another game kind of like that. Had a big, like puzzle to figure out that was a huge, like, community effort, like, in the post-game.
Which one?
I think it was, like, Animal Cave or something. Oh, are you kidding me? I hit a tree and got robbed.
I have yet to play that one. I have heard really good things about it.
A friend of mine, Sean, got like super into it, and it kind of felt like, for what you're saying, something you'd like.
I'm starting to get a bit worried.
Yeah.
These games are usually not that hard, for example.
Well, like Sentai, what you're saying, like the argument I had against me for like Dark Souls should have an easy mode is like people saying I want to experience the narrative, but the game is too difficult, so it should have an easy mode so I can personally enjoy the narrative. But then, as the director says, the narrative is based around the difficulty. But then, I don't know. I feel like that it's like I should probably drop it because it's just kind of like a loop of us just having different like views or like preferences. So it's like
it's incredibly subjective, and you cannot impose a objective difficulty either. Because like some people are gonna have an easier time, some are gonna have another time.
Yeah.
And you're just filtering people randomly because why? Like
I guess
like
I don't know.
Zero Ranger has done because the developers of Zero Ranger have understood one core thing, which is casuals and hardcore people have different needs.
Yeah.
And that's why I say
I mean,
the
like,
new mode is both easier and harder. Because if you wanna just finish the game, it is easier in the new mode. You're not gonna get the whole narrative. You're not gonna get the max score. You're not gonna get the super extra bosses. But you're not gonna get them anyway because you're gonna hate them if you're not that good.
It's I don't know. It is a case of like difficulty is like a real difficult thing, like, and can get complicated because it's kind of a case of like the Stalker games. You play the Stalker games on the highest difficulty without question. It has lower difficulties, but it ruins your experience if you do, because the way they did difficulty so bullshit, it actually just makes the game terrible. Because if you play the game, like the way it works is, it's like damage across the board changes on difficulty. So if you play on easy, it takes like 4 times the amount of bullets to die, but it takes 4 times the amount of bullets to kill anybody.
I will continue to say that the one game that did difficulty the best is fucking Kingdom Hearts 2. And no one else got close. Because critical mode is just such a game changer for that game.
Fair.
It's not even a question whether you should play that or something else. And it kind of fits. If you want the actual challenge, you play critical mode. And if you don't, and you just want the RPG mechanic where you can just grind your way out of any boss, you just play the other difficulties.
Fair.
Because critical mode trivializes level. If you play Kingdom Hearts Standard, then you have to beat some enemies. I see Offensive is also in the audience. You have to beat enemies, get your level ups, get your skill and whatnot. If you play critical mode, the entire game is meant for you to be beaten at level 1. It's just really hard. And
Yeah.
you're very squishy, but you do more damage. It's like the game is literally telling you get good. And if you try to level up, not only is experience like harder to get, but also it just doesn't matter as much. Like
Fair.
they're cutting out your one way. Let's play Elden Ring if we're in easy mode. No, you shouldn't though. Elden Ring is trash. Bro, they put platforming sections in that game. Are you kidding me? The controls in that game are so bad. Have you seen how many people I've seen die because they just fucking their collision shape just didn't align properly and they just go ahead and like fell down a hole that was not even close to them? It's like, man,
I gotta be honest, that sounds better than what Armored Core 1 did at the very end of its game.
Well, like that's going to a whole other ballpark to go back.
I know,
to, like,
but
as
it's
far as, like, the
still-
PS1 era.
I know, but still, FromSoft never changed. They will have platforming. You can't stop them.
like,
I never had that much struggle with the platforming. I don't remember anyway in Elden Ring. It has been a
I
bit,
don't know.
like maybe.
I only have seen people
But-
play Elden Ring, and I've seen them die more times to the platforming than the actual fucking enemies. Which is, man, what the fuck?
I mean, they
That's
say
not
Elden
okay.
Ring's the easiest one to get into just because if you struggle in an area, there's like 10 other places you could go. So it's just, there's always content you could be doing to level up and then go back to anything you struggle with. It's like, I don't know, it's like, it is a lot to like figure out and get
Oh, I got
accustomed
Sega.
to when it comes to like the Souls games, that it is like you're basically like learning a new, like a subject or something, or like, because it's like, the way I got good at Dark Souls 1 was the fact that I was constantly looking up builds, where to find items, like how to like make an effective character, and even then it took me like ages for it to actually click. But like once it did, like I bet Dark Souls 1 like on stream with a randomizer and had a great time, but
Honestly, like someone who only has played Dark Souls 1 a few times and never really enjoyed it. You're describing like what playing Metroid is like to me.
yeah. So it's like Dark Souls is my Metroid, but then like who knows, I might not like Metroid if I played it. It's like the point I was like, I started this by just saying, it's like I kind of feel like there should be an allowance for like games like being like niches and like not trying to be for like everybody, because it's like, because then you can like focus on a target audience and kind of like.
I think it's a bad take to say that. Like, I think difficulty is subjective, so.
I mean, it is,
take
to be
keep
fair,
it
at the end of
that
the
way.
day, because art is subjective, and then, like, every step of making a game is, like, a skill that's, like, personal preference for how this should be and that should be. Like...
Honestly, sorry, it's
Like-
just...
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I think this is not one of those black and white cases. I really feel this is very dependent on whatever the dev team of an individual game wants to do and the game they're making. I agree, like, for the most part, but at the same time I'm like, difficulty options and stuff should be a thing in some games. Not all of them, in some games.
I think it should be a thing in most games. It's just I feel like there should be an allowance for exceptions. but then like, you know, most like when I made that point on like the topic of Dark Souls, it was like, no, every game should have difficulty options. No game is allowed to not have difficulty options. I'm like, but then it's like, but like that, it was like an expression of like the artistic intent of the director. Like that's what he wanted to he wanted to express a concept and an idea, and that's how he felt would be the best way of doing it. And you're saying that he should not be allowed to do that because you want the game to be the way you want it, not how the director wanted it.
I will always applaud people who think that way, though. I think director opinion be damned. Like if I wanna play, I should be free to not play the way it was intended to be played.
So you're okay with hackers in multiplayer games?
Well, that's different.
Yeah, that
they're playing.
Experience.
That's the argument that the hackers make. I'm playing the game the way I want to.
No, okay. If it's a single player title, I paid for it. I
Yeah.
should be allowed to enjoy it the way the fuck I want.
Yeah,
Which,
fair.
by the way, doesn't mean
I was mostly taking the piss, Sam.
I put like that's less an argument for a difficulty in Dark Souls and more argument for let me mod the fuck out of my game. I don't give a shit of what you think.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely think like games should be allowed to be modded, and like if it's like if you really wanted to, just like, you know, mod a game to make it easier or whatever. It's just as long as I'm a case of like the core experience should be what the artistic intent and the director wanted, and then like allow for modding, and if people wanted to like change or alter the game. I guess with Dark Souls, it's like it has a lot of online integration, so that kind of makes it a bit complicated, but like, you know, you can still mod it and just like set it to offline, and like you kind of have to do like randomizer runs and stuff like that, so
like
it's not it's impossible.
Like I mostly agree with the sentiment of letting the people making a game make the game they want to make. However, I also feel like adding something like described, like what they do in Celeste, being like, here, you can do whatever the hell you want, but just know you're not playing it, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's a game
of that mindset.
I think 2 or 3 screens of, hey, this is not the intended experience. It ruins the message. Please think twice before doing this. But it still lets you do it. Like again, it's like. It still has like a nice message about depression and whatnot, and hey, just because you are born without a hand doesn't mean you don't get to enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah, that's like the part where it gets the most complicated, where it's like that's why accessibility options are super important, but then at the same time you have people that abuse those options for people that need them to like just like alter the experience for them. Like, I don't know.
Okay, but they kind of just like, who fucking cares about them? Like,
yeah, it's, I don't know.
If
it's like just a case of
trivialize the experience and ruin it for themselves. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be bothered by that. Some people are gonna be idiots like that, and you know you want to.
It's a case with disability versus accessibility. It's good to keep accessibility options for people with chronic illnesses and like games with a lot of button mashing. Yeah, to be fair, like button mashing, I feel like it's always kind of been a bad thing. But
I gotta be real. Some of this conversation just reminds me of like people talking about how to properly watch a movie.
Yeah, it's
because on one hand, you want people to be able to watch your movie in general, but at the same time, you know, there's probably a good amount of directors or whatever who's like watch it in like an IMAX theater or whatever, and you're not watching the movie if you're watching it on your tiny phone.
I think it's I guess a way like I could put it is like my view on it is like. Take Ruby, for example, where you have the original work and it's made with like its intention and all that, and like this is how this is and how everything is, and then you like take it as it is, and then after that You then go to the fanfics to get a better experience. in like terms of like, you know, modding games, where it's like, you know, because if I play a game, I'll play it as intended, and then after I'm satisfied that I feel like I've gotten everything out of it, I then move to modding it. So like, I played Fallout 4 vanilla, and then I realized everything I liked about it, everything I disliked about it, and then I was like, I modded the game to make it an experience I'd actually enjoy. Because that game can be extremely good if you mod it. Now, some people love it vanilla, but, like, I just don't. But, like, I feel like that's an example of, like, you know, modding a game to, like, customize the experience to a way you enjoy it, which is why I'm, like, all for modding. But, like, you know. Because I guess with Dark Souls, you could just get a trainer, just max out all your stats, and just give yourself whatever weapons, just... like god tier weapons, but...
You do realize that, like, a properly thought out, more accessible mode would be better than that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It gets complicated with Dark Souls because it's kind of like the exploration aspect, where it's like you can get some of the busted weapons like as soon as you hit go on the game, but you need to like know where they are. So then you could just argue that then like you just have the like the guide up to just show you where all the good stuff is, and then you just kind of like get the stats to use it by just like grinding a bit, and then you just like have an amazing build right off the bat.
It doesn't really...
Well, like, but then how'd you make like so like what changes would have to be made then, where it's a case of like
no, I think it's a
like
bad game
just
full stop. So I.
Like
my best, like,
yeah.
I think if you're getting tilted by Dark Souls, good. Go play something good, please.
Yeah. Like that's why like
Sorry,
you know,
Ash.
we just inherently have different views on it. Where it's a case of like it's a game that I love because of the way it is, and it's a game you hate because of the way it is. I wouldn't want anything about the game to change. You would want a lot about the game to change.
I think Ash just want a different game in general.
No, Dark Souls, it clicked me quite quickly that like I had my doubts. I asked my friends, and my friends confirmed my doubts that it's not that I find it hard, it's that I just fucking hate it. Like, sadly, the whole gameplay of Dark Souls is something I despise, and I cannot look around it.
Like, when I think of, like, Dark Souls, I think of the fact that, like, my brother told me I'd hate Dark Souls. I'd absolutely despise it. And he was thinking in the logic of, like, whenever we'd play Call of Duty or whatever, that game, it feels so, like, bullshit when you die most of the time because of, like, the bad netcode and, like, the fact that, like, you could shoot somebody in the back and they could just 180 and insta headshot you almost. And, like, it would infuriate me so much because it just didn't feel fair. Like, it felt like I could do everything right and I'd still just lose because fuck you. And like I'd actually get really mad over it. Meanwhile, like that doesn't happen anymore, but like it used to. But then like at the same time playing Dark Souls, that never happened to me. I never got mad at the game. Because if I died, it felt like I fucked up. It wasn't like something out of my control says like you just can't win. It was like I could take actions to improve my chances. I could do this. Like I could come up with a plan, and I just really enjoyed trying to figure out the boss patterns and kind of like, you know, build and like, you know, develop my abilities, because it's kind of like twofold. It's like the RPG, you get the bigger stats so you're stronger, but then you also have to like develop like your own ability to be able to play the game better. But like that's where I found the enjoyment and my love for the game. But then like that's like, you know, a big ask for a lot of people, or like some people just do not want that full stop.
No, I don't want a clunky combat system where everything is slow as fuck and you just have to leave with like, oh, I didn't time this parry properly. Now I have to wait 1 full minute for me to die. Like, okay, cool. I don't want this.
Well, when it comes to parrying, that's like a very
like overall, the entire combat system is clunky on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am the opposite. I want Kingdom Hearts combat that's super twitch. Like, everything is snappy. If I
you want like
I
more character
instantly
actiony kind of like.
as I should.
I might to assume that you also dislike Monster Hunter Ash.
I try to like Monster Hunter. I cannot. For the same reason. I want to.
To be fair, I kind of struggle with
like,
Monster Hunter myself because I feel like the fights take way too long.
Everything else is great, but the combat system just fucking doesn't click with me.
Like,
it's too
It's funny.
slow.
I absolutely adore Monster Hunter. Not just, like I've been playing like not just the new ones, but also like some of the so like before the new gen.
I
absolutely love that stuff.
With Monster Hunter, it's like I feel like I like it, but then it's a case of like it feels like for me to enjoy it, I have to play with a full group of people because my main issue is the case of I tend to like play games like that by myself a lot. But like I feel like I do so little damage, it'd be like 30 minutes to hunt a monster just because it takes that long to wail on them until they die.
I don't know. I hate it because on one end I like those, like, to me those are the comfy games, the games where you just slowly grind at them and you chip them up all the little content, you know, like Final Fantasy 15. That's why I like that game so much. But when you get to the open world section, it's just there's a lot of small content that you can just slowly chip away at it, and then you finish it and you have to finish the story, and then the game becomes bad all of a sudden.
I got my dinner and I realized I'm not gonna eat it unless I go spectator.
Okay. But
I'll still be here. I'm just eating as well.
Not my thing. And
I get it. The whole slow combat, like intentionally clunky stuff, where the whole point is you have to be mindful of what you're doing at all times, or regret it. It's an acquired taste.
I guess I always found like all those, like, the more you make it clunky, the more you're gonna push people to be defensive, because that's the only good way to play it. Which is what you see, like the average player that plays Dark Souls just is very defensive. They keep, you know, dodge rolling all the time. They keep their distance and they move in just for slow pokes. I'm like, I hate that. Like, I feel shit when I do it in fighting games. Why would I want to do it in a single player game?
I think it's a case of like, again, it's like you're more like you like the character action kind of combat when Dark Souls is meant to be more like a duel.
Well, the thing is,
where it's like,
again, every game you're gonna have that defensive approach, but generally you learn and it becomes easier. And I mean that's true for Dark Souls as well. But like, I don't know, I just don't like it. It's hard to explain. I just.
I mean,
like,
yeah, that's entirely fair.
And that's like, honestly, I am glad that I have friends that I can be straight with and they just go like, yeah, no, you just don't like the game, don't worry about it. Like, okay, cool.
I just see in chat, I've heard horror stories of how hard Dark Souls is. It's not hard, it's just boring for me personally.
I don't think that the horror stories, I feel like it's a meme to a point.
I'm starting to get a bit worried.
Definitely got
honestly,
into
to
a
me,
bit of a meme, but
to me it sounds more like not just the skill issue, just like the way the game, at least the ones the first one that I played are just built in a way that just,
like, if I had to give you what my kind of combat system would be like, the fucking V2 fights in Ultra Kill. That's peak for me.
okay.
I still need to get back to playing Ultra Kill. I didn't get that far. I just played a few levels, went, this is pretty good. I'll probably wait till it comes out so I'll actually finish the game.
So I have my own, like, good pillars of design that I have in my mind. and Dark Souls goes against like most of them. I like stuff to be snappy, and I like punishment to be as little as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here comes Dark Souls and goes like, no, fuck you. I'm like, cool, I don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
Like in Ultra Kill, when you get to a boss fight and you lose, like you lose immediately. Like there's not that much tolerance for errors depending on how much you fuck up. But then you just immediately back into the fight.
I mean, that's what Celeste does as well. Like, you die, you instantly pop back. In you go.
Yeah.
No, that's like all. Like that's something. Like I remember when I was making like a little shmup with a friend. I was like, okay, I want to make a game that takes like there's because I've noticed like a trend with the hardcore platformer of the time. So your N+, your Super Meat Boy, your Celeste, also like Super Hexagon, for example. I'm like, okay, what these games are, they are incredibly hard to the point that you lose within seconds, but they immediately send you back into action. There is like that's something that's what fucking turned me off Hollow Knight. When you die to a boss in Hollow Knight, you respawn at a fucking bench and you have to go all the way back. And that fucking pissed me off so much.
Yeah, fair. Again, it's not for everybody, so.
Yeah, but then you look at like people who play the randomizer and what they do, they have a fucking mod that lets them put a bench wherever they want in the map, so they can put it before bosses. So like, this is not like how the game is meant to be played. This is just normal. Like people complain about it, and like even the dedicated player base doesn't like it.
Fair.
Honestly, the idea of placing your own checkpoints is just something I want to see in more games, because
Dragon's Dogma.
I remember playing a
well, that's more fast travel, but
I remember playing a 3D indie platformer called Demon Turf.
Ooh.
Where
does that let you put your checkpoints?
You get like at the start of each level, you get 3 checkpoints that you can place wherever you want, and you can fast travel between them as well, I believe.
Oh.
Never got into that game. I tried the demo and it was like not my thing personally, but maybe.
I absolutely love 3D platformers. Ironically, despise Mario 64.
I absolutely love 3D platformers and absolutely love Mario 64 and don't like Demon Turfs. There's just multiple kinds, I guess. I mean, I think my favorite game of all time currently is Odyssey. Mario Odyssey.
I like Odyssey. I like Odyssey.
You like Odyssey, but not 64. They're almost the same game.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I would call Odyssey the true 64 sequel. Because no other, like, Sunshine isn't a Mario 64 game, not the Galaxy games.
The reason why I dislike Mario 64 is it, to me, feels like a tech demo.
I wouldn't agree. I think it's a very polished game.
I know I'm a minority of this, and it's not something I'm gonna. It's not something I care too much about talking about people, but there's just something about the controls. It does not feel as snappy as I would want them to be for the game it is.
I have to say,
it feels
64 for me was
it
the
feels like I'm
problem,
controlling. It feels like I'm controlling a fat plumber. Derogatory.
So here's the thing with 64, I had to play it multiple times before I clicked with me. I used to think it was a bad game as well.
I have played it multiple times.
And eventually clicked, and that's the reason why for some games I will give them many tries. And that's what I did with Dark Souls. I tried Dark Souls multiple times, and every time I came short. Because I was like, well, if Mario 64 only clicked to me like after 3 times, maybe Dark Souls is like that.
Fair.
I don't know. I've played Mario 64 quite a few times over the years, and it's not that I dislike it. It's just it's not a game I can actively go back to and play for my enjoyment.
Okay, I would say the same.
Other platformers I've been able to pick up pick up again and again for entertainment. Mario 64 is not one of them, and that's just because it just doesn't feel good to me to play. Like, it feels like this is one of the first like 3D platformers with full analog controls. I can tell.
Honestly, I will say I kind of want another Odyssey.
I also want another Odyssey.
The Cappy controls are so good that I just miss them in every game. I'm like, God, I wish I was able to like Cappy jump in this. And some fucker made a Cappy mod for Hat in Time, which is absolutely busted because you can cover such good length by mixing the Cappy mechanics with the Hat in Time mechanics. But I feel like, God, I wish every other game was just like this. In fact, I wish Hat in Time was like this.
Fair.
But
I think
Stellar
part of it is also just sorry.
But like, my hot take is that I think Mario 64 controls better than Hat in Time.
Stellar Starry Dust kind of said that Dark Souls sounds like it's more of a more than a duel. Sounds more like deathmatch. Really, I'd argue Dark Souls is more of a puzzle game.
What?
Yeah, because it's kind of like a case of like when you enter a room, you're basically put into a like puzzle. It's like you have to figure out like the best course of action in a sense with the tools you have on hand. So it's kind of like, you know, it's like aggro this enemy to lure them out to make the situation more like, because if you just run in, you usually just die in Dark Souls. It's like, okay, there's a trap here, you have an archer up there. How do I best like deal with this encounter without the archer taking me out or stepping on the trap? Or maybe I use the trap to take out a few enemies to then like clear it out so I can move up and take out the archer.
It would be a puzzle game under that circumstance. Like,
what? I don't know. Yeah, fair.
Kind of similar, like. Well, they do have puzzles generally, but that doesn't help.
It's like boss fights are usually like a duel, and then like encounters in the world is kind of just a case of like figuring out the best course of action.
Yeah,
and like
everyone I know, like every time I see my friends play Dark Souls, they just run past all the enemies. Like,
well, that's a case of when you have it like completely memorized, you kind of know how to like, you know, just rush it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, if I roll it this time, they're gonna miss because I've done it like a dozen times before, and then like, I'm saying from like a player starting out, it's like you need to like focus and pay a lot like attention to every little detail.
It's funny seeing you know my friends play an actual puzzle game, which is Void Stranger. Which is, I have played those puzzles so much that I have memorized all the solutions almost. Yeah. So like when they have to rerun it, I'm just like, they just have to run through every single puzzle. I'm like, oh, just do this, and it's like insane how much I remember. Cause like I have to do the same fucking puzzle like 10 times each almost.
Yeah.
And it's like weird because I say like, oh, this is easy, and like I don't see it. I'm like, what do you mean?
Fair. I mean,
do the chip challenge actually.
Like brain. Like I say, it's a puzzle game, but it's kind of like it's not like a traditional puzzle game. That it's like, you know, just trying to emphasize the like, you know, if you just run in, you'll just die unless you know exactly what you're running into and how best to like capitalize on things, or like where to go and how. Because the case of you could run through, but you don't know which door is progression, which is a dead end, which is booby trapped, which is like etc. It does have a little bit of trial and error, unless you play like an inhuman amount of attention. Like the first mimic chest you encounter is almost guaranteed to kill you. Because why would you inspect the chest to see it's breathing slightly and has teeth on the inside?
Understand why 64 is good when you talk about parallel universes.
I'm
Oh
starting to get a
man.
bit worried.
Don't you start. Don't you please stop.
Oh God, please.
I don't want to learn
Was Super
about
Mario 64 your canon event?
I don't want to learn about goddamn parallel universes. Teach me that stuff about a game that I actually like. I think another part of it is just, and I can't really blame Mario 64 too much on this, but still, it's just, dude, it's just the movement is, like, the movement is not super interesting. It's basic acrobatics, which is cool and all, but with the controls again, it does not interest me. Again, the happy stuff in Mario Odyssey is really cool on top of the normal Mario acrobatics. On top of, you know, the game feeling snappier to control.
I do agree. I think 64 is one of the nicest movements, but also, I think it's not even that the movement is good, it's that Nintendo has a way of designing the video games which is completely opposite of most people. And I think that's why it works. I feel like Super Mario 64 movement wouldn't work in any other video game.
I just wish what that game was. I'm sorry. I said nothing, don't worry about it.
They clearly designed their games to be sandboxes and think about everything else later.
Yeah.
I mean, they've publicly said that. Like, it's not even like a theory.
I just think I'll never
exactly the same,
get rid of the
like
bad
Halo.
taste allegations. I'll be fighting bad taste allegations for the rest of my life.
Who cares? Just play what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you draw a picture and you show everybody in the world the picture, one guy's gonna think it's a spoon. Is the saying I like, which is basically just like everyone's gonna have a different opinion, and some are gonna be drastically different, and that's just because everybody's different.
I know. It's just funny. I just find it funny because I'm a guy who really likes 3D platformers, yet ironically it doesn't really like one of the most popular ones. I just find that inherently funny.
Like, I think Fallout 3 and 4 are, like, some of the most dog shit games ever. But then, like, I know a lot of people that love 3 and 4 and hate New Vegas. I don't judge them for them. I like, that's their opinion. They find their own things they enjoy that are different to me. It's like, you know.
Most of my enjoyment of 64 isn't the movement system itself, is that it clearly feels like a toolkit to explore like a world. Like, the reason I don't like Galaxy or Sunshine as much is because they're very much more on rails. You know what I mean?
Like in Super Mario 64, there's like 5 different ways you can get somewhere.
Yeah, like.
When in Galaxy, it's like there's the one route.
I see that. It's not, again, I don't think necessarily it's bad. It's just, like I said, the said tool for the sandbox just feels scuffed to me. It feels heavier than it should be.
Where's my gamepad?
Like, I think it's kind of like the comparison between a Lego bucket and a Lego set. Where it's like a Lego set looks really nice, it's like exactly the way that was intended, but then like you're stuck with that one way to experience it.
I mean, you're not.
Well, with a Lego set, they just let you go fucking nuts.
Like, I get
box,
that, but I also like that sort of design normally. I mean, for God's sake, I don't want to get into it now because I've said enough, and I know Ash disagrees with me on this, but I freaking love Pseudo Regalia. and that game doesn't tell you shit.
What? Hey, what?
Talking about the
New
whole,
game,
you know,
yeah.
Lego bucket, Lego set, and I'm like, I like games that are just like sandboxes to like whatever, and mentioning pseudo regalia because it doesn't tell you anything. It's just like
Oh,
you
yeah.
figure it out. But I know you don't really like the game.
I don't like Pseudo Regalia, no, but I do appreciate it a lot. Like, I like that it doesn't tell you shit. I like the exploration aspect. I just find, like, it's just overall a bit too much for me, but it's like, it's not I don't like I like all the design choices, I just don't like the end product. It's a bit weird of a weird feeling. I guess it's what
Yeah.
you might say the same about, like, Mario 64 maybe?
Oh, what?
Because I feel like you're okay with, like, everything on it, but you just don't like the game.
Kinda.
Yeah, I guess I
For-
felt the
for
same
me-
about
for-
Pseudo.
For me, that's weird because again, I like it just pseudo to me just feels very snappy. Maybe I'm insane.
No, it feels
Like,
cool.
again,
I
it's
mean,
subjective. At the end of the day, it's like everything's
I told
subjective.
you, one of my
so-
issues with Pseudo Regalia is that it lets you sequence break in ways that were clearly not intended or tested. And that kind of fucked with my playthrough. Like,
I mean,
if
that
I'm
is one
sequence breaking
that
on a
that
video
is
game,
one of the things.
Hmm?
That I don't necessarily disagree with you with that. There, I know of one point where you can get soft lock due to that.
But like, it's cool that you can do it. It's just not cool
I mean-
that they didn't like prepare for that.
I mean, I feel for the most
I
part,
think that's why I
feel
like
like
New
it does.
Vegas.
It's just there's one specific point I know you can soft lock yourself in, but that's the only thing I know of where
Okay,
where that's
I will tell you,
possible.
there's
Like-
been one point where I absolutely soft locked, and there were multiple points where I cheesed the puzzle, only to come like 3 hours later with a different power up and go like, oh, that's how you're supposed to make it. And my cheese was easier than the intended way to solve it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. To me, that's not a design issue. That is.
I thought it
That is not
funny
an
and
issue.
like the fact that I could just approach a puzzle and think, you know what? I don't actually care how you're supposed to do it. I'm gonna do it my way and succeed. I have tons of fun with that. But then it becomes annoying when you actually get soft locked, or it makes everything a bit more confusing to figure out because you don't know where you're supposed to be. Like, you don't know where you're supposed to go. You don't know everything. It's like it just becomes a
I
bit
think-
too much.
I think that's
I
why I
can't-
enjoy
There's
New
an-
Vegas so much, because
There's
it
an
is a
entire
kind of a
section which
sandboxy
I
game.
did completely blind. Because I think there's like a section that's like dark. I don't know if you ever get a power up that like lights up stuff. I just did it
You
blind.
do?
I just went off my ear. Is that
First of all, there is.
okay?
Second of all, the funny thing is, I never do that properly.
What do you mean you don't do that properly?
I never, like, there's a specific area that's like dark,
Yeah.
where it's supposed to be an exit point. You're supposed to exit from there instead of like enter it and just go through the blindly. However, I have never done it properly.
Oh yeah, no, I think
I have always just gone through it without seeing.
I don't know, like I clearly was like, this is clearly a place I'm not supposed to be. Instead of going back, let's see how far I can go in. And I think I got to the other side. I mean, I had no idea I got to the other side. And it was clearly like, as you say, it was clearly meant to be done the other way around. With a power up that I don't have. And I'm like, yeah, who cares? But like, the problem is, it's funny in the moment, but then, at least for me, become a bit frustrating that I was all over the place in places that, like, it becomes too confusing when you're actually breaking the game too much.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? I don't remember when you played it
Before the map
or
update.
before the map update. Do you think that would have helped?
Probably. I don't know how the map works.
Basically, it's a power up that you can get extremely early on.
Okay.
Like without. Like it's like as soon as you exit the first area, like the dungeon area, like one of the first rooms in like the main area where there's a save crystal. All you do is go right, and it's there.
Okay.
And it's a Metroidvania style map where it fills in the more yeah, each room gets filled in when you enter it.
Probably, because at that point I could have gone like, okay, these are the place I still need to go. Let me hit those up.
That's like one of the only things I'm like, it's not an issue for me because I really did like the exploring, but at the same time I can see how big of an issue this can be for
I just don't like that's one aspect I hate of Metroidvania is how much backtracking you do.
I'm starting to get a bit
Like, I
worried.
have this distinct memory of one time playing Metroid Prime 1 and just spending an entire session just backtracking. I was like, I achieved nothing today.
I get it.
That sucks.
I think my brain just enjoys most things about games, even the stuff that people consider tedious. Like, I enjoy backtracking. I'm one of those people who play an RPG with like insane encounter rates, and I'm like, I'm fighting each encounter.
Oh god.
I do not care. Grinding, what's that? I grind on my way there.
I deadass cannot finish Kingdom Hearts 1 and get into Kingdom Hearts because of how many fucking encounters there are. And like, as soon as a friend of mine told me, you know, you don't have to fight those, I'm like, wait, what? Like, as soon as he said it, I finished the entire series. Like,
that's funny.
Realize, no, you don't have to kill
You're telling me I can just walk around?
What?
You're telling me I can just walk around?
With
the Kingdom Hearts fights.
You cannot, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know
But like
that.
most
I
encounters,
thought
you can just avoid them by just like.
I thought like RPG encounter rate where you like. You have to fight them before you can like move to a different area. Like no,
Yeah.
you can just walk. I'm like, oh my god, this makes this game so less tedious.
You know, that's really funny. At the same time, that would not have changed anything for me. I still fight every heartless I encounter.
I get it.
Yeah, but that's like, you know,
usually
different
I do fight
preferences and
everything.
playstyle.
I know, but I'm like, I know I'm slightly weird for that, because the funny thing is, because of this, I never encountered the issue of needing to grind, because I naturally just am leveling.
I mean, that's
Like,
me too.
I mean, like, it's not like there's a guy called Min who plays like JRPGs, and the way he plays them is he goes to the first area. So, for example, he played Final Fantasy 15. So imagine this, Ash. You play Final Fantasy 15. You're in the very first area of the game.
Yeah.
And you keep fighting the enemies until you hit max level. That's what he does with every JRPG he plays.
Oh god. Wasn't it like a guy that I think that was, I've forgotten the name, Cybershell, who, wait no, Cybershell made the video about it, but there was one guy who played Final Fantasy 7.
Oh yeah, I remember you showing me before, I think.
Yeah. So,
the massive documentary of
yeah,
there was like one dude who said
get to level 100.
Grind. Yeah. Grinding in like the first area of the Mako reactor, and he ended up not doing it, but still lied and kept posting, and then the dude was like, "All right, bet," and started doing it themselves. And actually did it.
And did it in a fraction of the time that like the post was a lot like alive and stuff.
We love to see it.
Oh.
Speaking of JRPGs, I mentioned I've been playing Legend of Dragoon, which I think Enfield, you mistook what I said for Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did.
You should play Panzer Dragoon though, it's a good game.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, that goes without saying, but I've been playing my vacation for like that.
Oh wait,
for
yeah,
like
you're
3 weeks.
talking about it's a JRPG, right? Like the old
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a late PS1 JRPG where, for the most part, you only have the only offensive thing you can do is basic attack, but the basic attacks are like involved button sequences, timing based.
Yeah.
Like at the start of the game, every character you get will have like an attack that like one button press where you have to time a single one. But like the further you get with each character, you get new ones that are longer and longer and longer.
Oh, I wasn't going the wrong
more
way.
difficult to do.
Yeah.
But it makes the battles a lot more fun. Cause it's not just, you know, press button, press attack option and it does it, or like, okay, I'm gonna cast magic, or whatever. No, it's like every single time you attack, you have to actively be playing, or else it will not do as much damage. Or in some cases, the boss, if you don't do it fully, the boss will just counterattack if you mess up.
Well.
Which honestly, the first time it happened on a boss, I just started laughing as I just got sucker punched.
Fair.
But yeah, it's been fun playing it in the downtime of my vacation, when I'm not out and about.
Yeah.
It's a weird RPG because like it's a late PS1 title, like 2000, yet it doesn't look exact, like it's not like visually it's not on par with like other RPGs that were already out, like FF8 or 9, but despite being like published by Sony themselves.
Yeah.
I'm playing on a JRPG in my time, actually.
Oh yeah?
I'm playing Cyber Sleuth, and this time I will finish it.
Oh yeah, I remember a good while back I started playing Cyber Sleuth and I got...
Yeah, I always
a
get
good ways
sidetracked,
into
but this
it.
time I'm finishing it.
Hopefully I'll be done with Legend of Dragoon soon, because I want to play... honestly, I want to play Armored Core just because robots.
I want to get into the Armored Core game as well.
I'm like waiting for
I
it
know
to go
that
on
if
a
I only
big
care
sale to
about
get the
story, I
newest
only need to
one.
play from 3 onwards, but I'm gonna try the first ones as well. It is fun.
Yeah, I plan
because
on playing the first one as well.
I was chatting with friends about like that there was like a meme graph about like fan bases in the level of autism. Derogatory way, not the actual autism.
Yeah.
And Metal Gear was pretty up there for like, it was like level of lore and how obsessive the fan base is, and Metal Gear is like pretty up there. And like,
I'm
weird
starting to
because
get a
the
bit
most
worried.
the most obsessed people I know with Metal Gear never played the originals. And I'm like, I only played the originals.
Yeah, it's like I was super into Metal Gear Solid. Never played Metal Gear 1 or 2. It's kind of like I only remembered I think when I found out that Metal Gear and like Metal Gear 2 existed was when I was playing Metal Gear Solid 4, and they have QTE flashbacks of Metal Gear like 1 and 2, and I'm like, what fucking game? What pixel art? Why is there pixel art all of a sudden?
Man,
Like,
while I was at Fantai's place, I was trying to like learn how to make music. At one point, I was like, man, I wonder, well, like, I want to make like a stealth team. Let me look up like what Metal Gear 2 sounds like. And then I like watched it, immediately realized my mistake, because Metal Gear 2 sounds nothing like a stealth game. 1 and 2 was one of the most amazing music there are.
For some reason, my brain went immediately to Metal Gear Solid 2 Subsistence and the skateboarding theme.
I need to play that game, don't I?
If I remember right, in Metal Gear Solid 2 Subsistence, there's a joke mini game where it's basically Tony Hawk, but you're playing as Raiden and you're like skating on the big shell.
Actually,
God.
correction.
Or was that?
It's not,
or was that?
It's not.
Oh, it was from a Tony Hawk's game, was it?
No. It was basically a demo for a skateboarding game that Konami made.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then in the
sucks.
demo, you just do it with like Raiden instead, and only in the demo, right?
on the big shell. I believe in the actual game, I think you can play as Snake and Raiden, but you can also play as like Frogger, but it's like that disgusting version of Frogger they had at the time, and a weird looking Simon Belmont.
I presume from that like weird fighting game, kind of like a design like that, or
No. He just looked scuffed.
oh, okay.
Damn it! Keep fucking out the one jump.
Honestly, I think the funnier like stuff that the Metal Gear Solid stuff has had is not the skateboarding stuff, but the Ape Escape stuff.
I will say,
Oh,
the
Ape
worst
Escape,
thing
yeah,
about
so-
the meme, the picture is that Danganronpa was not the worst one.
Actually, you know about that, right, Ash?
What?
The Ape Escape missions in Metal Gear Solid 3.
You told me about them.
Yeah,
But
I couldn't
haven't
remember
played them,
though.
of course, because I still have to play Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, because it's what do you call it? Because basically in Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, so I don't know if it's. I think it's only in like the PS2 version of the game. Because like collaboration stuff. But there's like a bunch of missions where you literally play Ape Escape, but as Snake, like with the Metal Gear Solid 3 gameplay, but like you're doing the stuff in Ape Escape, capturing them, but it's just CQC and stuff instead.
The funny thing about that, it's not just Metal Gear Solid 3. Ape Escape 3 has a Metal Gear Solid mini game
That's amazing.
where it's literally just you play a miniaturized version of Metal Gear, but all the characters are monkeys, and you get codec calls from Snake, who's obviously not voiced by Snake.
Man,
You have to
Damn.
you have to take down Metal Gear.
listen, you can skip Metal Gear 1, it's not a good game, but you have to play Metal Gear 2. 2 is good.
Well, like some people would make the argument that you'd have to play Metal Gear 1 to fully appreciate Metal Gear 2, because the whole point of Metal Gear 2 is they're trying to replicate the Shadow Moses incident. So it's kind
No,
of
okay,
like
you have
it's
to
meant
play
to
Metal
be.
Gear 2 because Metal Gear 2 is Metal Gear Solid, but 2D.
Oh, Metal Gear 2. Sorry, I got mixed up. I thought you were talking about Metal Gear Solid 2. Okay, yeah, no. From what you told me, that does actually sound to be the case. It does sound pretty sick. Just
I will say, I
think my
most
mistake-
of my time in playing Metal Gear Solid 1, playing like, wow, they literally just copied Metal Gear 2 and made it 3D.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, like, but I assume
It's funny that-
very little people realize because they haven't played the originals, but Metal Gear Solid is such a fucking carbon copy of the 2D games.
well, like it's funny you say that. So like Metal Gear Solid is basically just Metal Gear 2, but like 3D, and then Metal Gear
no,
Solid
it's not
2
just-
is just Metal Gear Solid, but like on the PS2. So basically, you just made the same game 3 times in a row, from what you're telling me.
Metal Gear Solid is just a lot of Metal Gear 1 and 2. They're like mixed.
Okay.
It's like exactly what I like. Oh, if I had to make the same game but 3D, how would I make it? And that's Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird, like how much matches. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's what Solid's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it caught me by surprise. It was still like a bigger amount than I expected.
Ow! God! Too fast!
Fast, too quick. What?
I just went full boost, and I was like, oh god, there's a bomb in front of me.
I meant like high eye
even when you
shield.
think about it, like the Metal Gear Solid 1 levels, you have the outside, sorry, you have the underground, then you have the outside, you have the first base, another outside section, another base, another outside section, another base. That is literally how Metal Gear 2 works, and also how Metal Gear 1 works. Like they're both made that way.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a pretty smart idea because it's the idea of like instead of like
And
trying
how you
to
move
like
between them is also the same. You also just hide in a box in a truck, and they just hold you to another section.
yeah, but I mean, I think it's a very clever way of doing it. The transition between 2D to 3D to just redo the last two games, so just make it 3D instead of just trying to figure out an entirely new way of doing it, and like it has to be completely unique. Because it just means that Metal Gear Solid was like trying to figure out how to transition it, and then they develop it after that into like the future titles, and then like most people say they peaked at Metal Gear 3. I can see why. 4, I don't know why, but it will always just have a soft spot in my heart. I don't know why, that was just the one I really got into. Right, you know.
I don't know. I have to
Before
play
my
so many of them.
vacation, I actually started playing MGS5.
What?
Yeah.
Before
Metal
my
Gear Solid
vacation
5.
started, I started playing MGS5. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
It's-
play Ground Zeroes, or like just went straight into 5?
I just went straight in.
Fair. It's like the events of Ground Zeroes is like important for the plot later or whatever, so it's like
Here's the thing. This might be. I'm mostly enjoying MGS5 from a gameplay standpoint. Funny sandbox, go burr.
it is a very good sandbox. I'm just still devastated that like they never finished the game. It's like only like a third of the content that's meant to be in it. There's meant to be like 3 other like open world areas. You're meant to be able to do like a bunch of like extra shit. Like co-op, I think was meant to be a feature. And I feel like Metal Gear Solid 5 with co-op would be like my dream game, just because it's like I feel like it'd be perfect for having one player being like a support sniper, and then like the main player, like the other player, going in and doing the mission. And I just feel like that'd be so fucking cool to be able to do. And like I don't think any game has that, and like 5 would have been it if they finished it.
I find it interesting looking at games that end up being smaller than what they were originally planned for. Because like my favorite like example of this is the team that eventually became Monolith Soft for that makes Xenoblade. Like before they made Xenoblade for Nintendo, they were insane. Like they still are, but they're insane. Xenogears is supposed to be like a 7-game long series, which is like why?
Oh. And what, they're
And
like 4 down out of the 7?
Xenogears was supposed to be like a 7 long series.
Oh no,
in and of
Zero
itself.
Gears, not Xenoblade. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the team became Monolith Soft later, but the same team, like base team, I believe. But they wanted to make a 7-game long series, and Xenogears is the 4th entry. Like what? What do you mean?
Wait, they were trying to pull a Star Wars?
I guess.
Something like that. Also, afterwards, when they became Monolith and worked for Namco, and they started making Xenosaga, they were like, we want 5 games. They only got 3 and had to squish the rest of what they wanted into those 3 games. And it's like, bruh, can you not do this right now?
Bruh.
like they had this issue like twice, like not just with Xenogears but Xeno Saga as well. It's only with Xenoblade where it's like, okay, let's make like a game that's self-contained first before we start doing insane stuff. And like, Xenoblade 1 is a game that, honestly, by itself, you would not realize it was meant to be like a multi-part game, a multi-part series. It's only afterwards when they got Xenoblade 2 where like, oh wow, this actually relates to the first game, like in any sense. And then there's the third game, which, I mean, I guess you could play it standalone, but I would not recommend it. Because there will be so much of it that just flies over your head.
Yeah.
Like they either point out stuff or the significance of stuff will like fly over your head. Just like a basic example without like saying anything too much is like two characters like close to the start of the game like pointing out like the weird features of each other, like race features, and being like, huh, that's weird. Anyway.
Fair.
But those features like have a lot more context with background knowledge. Because those features are features of different races from the first two games. And I just find it funny, they just like, that's weird. Anyway. Because it has no meaning for the characters themselves. But it's like just really funny.
Fair enough. Oh, I feel like I'd have to like watch a video on it or play them myself to really get it, but
that's fair. Again, I don't like making definitive statements of like saying, you know, this is the best or this is the worst. I am not the type of person to do that normally when it comes to games.
What the fuck?
Because again, some of that has to do with, you know, games being art, and saying this is the best art to me is kind of dumb, and also just me being an indecisive little prick. But I genuinely mean it when I say I think Xenoblade is my favorite series of RPGs of like all time.
fair. Oh,
I just-
thanks for the posture check, Minty.
I just really like the games, both story-wise and gameplay-wise. 2 is a weird case. Xenoblade 2 is one I could.
It's the one with the
How
big
many hours do you
boobies.
have on?
That's the only thing.
How
I know
many
about
hours do you
Xenoblade
guys
2.
have on hand?
What?
How many hours do you guys have on hand? Because I could go on about Xenoblade 2 if I'm not stopped.
I mean,
I'm just
know
deeply
it's a good
confused by
game,
most
but
of what you
big
said.
boobies and it has British accent. And that's
All of the
only
games have British accents.
What?
All of them have British
Yeah,
accents.
right?
Well, are
but
they meant to
in
be
general-
Welsh accents, not British?
It depends on the character and race.
Okay.
All the cat people in Xenoblade are Welsh.
Oh no, okay, never mind, the game is bad.
How dare you? That's their
Why
best
does that
feature.
people have a good voice? What the fuck?
It actually weirdly works from what I've seen. It's actually like perfection.
Listen,
Yeah, but I want to kill the
I-
cat people. I cannot kill cat people if they have a Welsh accent.
What the fuck, Ash? I'm right here. I know I'm actually a bunch of crows in a trench coat, but I'm still offended.
Man, guy is upset about his not persona.
I really like that aspect, but Xenoblade 2 is a game I have very mixed feelings about. Because on one hand, god awful story pacing. On the other hand, it's simultaneously like the stories.
Yeah. I think Ash, I think you've been playing a bit too much Space Station 13 there, but you're.
I have not played that game in too long. And
I know it's just a joke about you being like, I want to kill the cat people though.
Okay, but that's just a normal sentiment.
It
What
doesn't
the
help
heck?
that it doesn't help that the combat is weird and the game is bad at explaining it. So you're just sitting there like, how do I play this and have it actually be fun?
Well, God, I can't turn fast
Look at
enough.
this. No,
And there is the hodgepodge of
Damn.
the character design. Like, even if we ignore the massive Pyras and Mithras in the room, like the big assets, there's a good amount of clashing. There's a good amount of character designs that kind of clash with each other, because the main cast mostly doesn't clash that much with each other. Besides the villains, which are designed by Tetsuya Nomura for some reason.
Oh,
okay,
God.
good game. Never mind.
Well, actually, wait, no, he's fine when he's on the art team, but when he's like the director, it's a bit like,
Yeah, I like his designs, but you can tell that these designs are not like the other.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, he made some weird decisions for Final Fantasy VII, like, remake.
Okay, but he also made 15. Kinda.
The funny thing is, his designs in the game are honestly the most low-key designs. Like, they're the most absurd things. They're not like, you know,
Okay, if
zippers
you
all
ever
over the place.
if you ever question Master Nomura, remember.
I'm not questioning it.
Look up. What the fuck? What fucking hat Donald wears on the Kingdom Hearts series?
I have seen it. It's Walla.
It's the
Like, to
sailor
be
hat
fair,
with
he
zippers.
weirdly made, like, the games, it's like, it's consistent. And, like, to be fair, with Kingdom Hearts, if you figure it all out, it does, like, in a weird way, make perfect sense. But it
No, I'm
is like,
talking about the
Jesus
design.
Christ, man, calm down.
We're talking design-wise, but like,
Okay.
like I said, villains and the main cast, they clash a bit design-wise. Like, you can tell these are not designed by the same people, but it's so much worse with the essentially optional party members in a sense.
Yeah.
I will not go into detail how that works because I'm saying party members with quotations. But essentially, the dev team was like, let's get a bunch of different artists and just tell them make shit.
Also, they anticipated
directions.
gacha games.
I mean, it's a funny thing you say that.
Oh no.
There is no money involved, but it is gacha. But yeah, all these characters, all these optional party members, quote unquote, character designs, all over the place. Because they were basically given no like instructions on like anything they have to do when it comes to the designs or like to adhere to, more or less.
Meanwhile, you have an absolute Chad like Yoko Taro go up to his like character designer and go like, okay, here's the descriptions of all the characters, and I want you to base it like, you know, that's what the designs are meant to be. Here's all the notes, and then all of it was lies because it's like he intentionally wanted the designers to make characters that look like incorrect for their role in the game. It's why like Kyrie like has like the soft design and like the like revealing outfit or whatever, and she's like meant to come across like her outfit's meant to contrast with her personality of being like swearing like a fucking sailor and like being the most angriest woman alive.
The character design thing, it's even worse when you look at the character portraits in the menus. Because like, for some of them, like in game, it doesn't look as bad, as clashing as it could be. But then you look at some of them on their portraits in the menus, and it's like, what 80s anime did you hop out of?
Damn.
Oh shit, 80s anime design.
I'm talking like eyes that are not the same size as anyone else in the game, where they're like so much more
Oh,
smaller.
like the almost like joke that people like the joke people used to make about anime, where they had like saucers for eyes because they were so big.
I'm not talking like eyes that are massive. I'm talking the opposite, eyes that are like so small, relatively.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
What is this, Pal World?
I think I need to post an example. Hold on.
The Pal World character heads are just so drastically like different art style wise. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna post this in the kart chat, but like, I look at the design and I'm like, are you from
What?
this time period?
Man, I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm like, I kind of want to rewatch Riding Bean now. And Gunsmith's
Wait.
Cats. I love those
It
two,
took me
like...
2 months to realize this is Hilltop.
Oh.
Bro.
I love those two OVA series, or like OVAs. One's like an OVA movie, I guess, and the other one's an OVA series. But like, my only issue is just the fan service in them. I'm just like, oh, come on, it was so close to being perfect. Why you gotta make it weird? Why you gotta make it weird?
You know exactly why.
I know exactly. Yeah.
This sentiment you're feeling, it is some of the mixed feelings I have with Xenoblade 2.
Well, like Gunsmith Cats, the two main characters, you have Raleigh Vincent and May. I can't remember her last name. But basically, the deal with May is she looks like a 12-year-old girl or whatever, and she's next to this adult woman like Raleigh Vincent, and you're like, oh, it's like a kid that tags along or whatever. And then you like check out the wiki, and you're curious about what their exact deal is. So you look it up, and you find out May's actually like 20 years old, and it's like, oh, is this the weird anime thing where they just make a fucking adult look like a lolly for no reason? And it's like, no. There is a reason. She has a creepy-ass boyfriend that likes him looking young, so she took, like, anti-aging drugs, or, like, you know, like, repressants to keep her from maturing into a full woman. To keep her boyfriend happy, and I'm like...
Ugh.
I'm now scarred for life from this series. That was, like, I love it. I would have said it's my favorite, but then when I look into the lore, I'm like, I'm disgusted by this.
Ugh.
Ah! Because in the OVA series, it's never mentioned. It's like, she's just there, and they're just on adventures, and that's it. I don't even think they really mentioned the boyfriend. Ah!
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Damn it. Ah.
It was like a manga, so I assume it's brought up in the manga or something. I'm just like, oh.
I recall Xenoblade 2, one of the characters, well, two of them. There's a pair of characters. There is Tora, who is first of all, he's not human. He's a little Nopon, which is like these round, fluffy creatures with like big ears that also act as hands on top of their small, stubby arms. But who made his own robot who looks like a small girl, and
But it's actually a 500-year-old dragon.
no, it's a robot.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
But first of all, when he first activates it, it goes old maid mode, and he turns it off really quickly out of embarrassment. And then the other characters noticed his closet is full of like dresses and stuff. Why?
I have a friend
Why must
request. I have streamer mode on Discord. But I have a friend request from like, what I think is Sonic? Am I not friend with Sonic?
I literally had a discussion about that recently, where it's just like a case of you can be friends with someone for years on Discord, chatting in DMs all the time, and then you never actually add each other as friends, and you just never realize you never did.
What the?
I literally had that like the other time where it's like, oh yeah, I'll make a private group call and we'll all go into it. It's like nice, and then it's like, can you accept my friend invite? And I thought they were talking about the game we were playing, and it's like, no, they were talking about Discord. And I'm like, what? What? Oh no.
Weird. I feel like I would have already be friends with Sonic though, because I can like
Commissioned, yeah.
I think I met him through commissions, did I? I don't actually remember.
I mean,
how
it's
met
like
Sonic.
very easy to just not do, so it's like, you know.
Okay, but I don't know. I would be talking to him.
Well, it's like
Oh,
you can
really?
talk
Yeah,
to
maybe,
like.
No,
Well, you
cannot talk.
can.
You
It's
have
just
to be a server. You have to have like one server in common, don't you?
It depends on the individual settings. I'm pretty sure, because some people it's like you can only message them if you're like friends.
Okay, but I have
So
to
it's
like
like
make a friend request to even message someone. Because there's no way on Discord to just say, hey, just open a chat with this username.
I see. I think you're right about that. Huh?
That's why I have a lot of
Maybe
the time I have to
Sonic
go, like,
accidentally
hey, sorry for
unadded
the
you?
friend
I don't
request.
know.
Feel free to ignore it, but I just need to contact you about this.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember there was an artist I liked who had their Discord up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna add them on Discord, and then I never talked to them, and they unadded me after like a week, and I'm like, I'm bad at
disable
socializing.
streamer mode because I want to see. Yeah, Sonic-chan, what the fuck?
F.
Huh?
I completely forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it was something about. Oh, I remember now. Xenoblade 2.
Oh yeah.
Goddamn Poppy and Tora. Ugh. I like the robot. The robot genuinely is a fun character. Tora though, put him in the dumpster.
Put him in the trash.
Put him in the trash where he belongs.
Oh, my last DM with Sonic is the one where he showed me the tweet where it goes like, if you wear your jacket like off your shoulder, you're gay.
Oh yeah, that you like resent to me.
Yep.
Is that where you also got the one about wearing sweaters and like depending on how like far down it goes your hand, it's like are you a
that's
top
very
bottom
old.
or
That's an old one.
okay.
Oh god, this is cursed.
I mean that BDSM test told me I'd be a switch, and I mean apparently that's just the way that my sweater goes when I wear it, so I guess it was true.
Become a switch, wear red and blue. Just randomly make a funny click sound whenever you move your arm in a certain way.
Damn, I can't believe that BDSM test predicted the Nintendo Switch. And that it would be me all along.
All along.
Can't believe Nintendo
I am the
would
one
name
who...
a console after a sexual tendency.
Damn, that's crazy. I can't believe it. I can't believe they predicted I was the one who's going to play Breath of the Wild.
I still maintain the Switch is one of the most dog shit name for a console ever.
Yeah, fair.
But then again,
Well, I mean, like, is it better or worse than
coming
the
out with bad
Nintendo
names.
Wii?
Honestly,
fine.
I understand you, but Wii U.
Yeah, no, Wii was fine. Wii U wasn't.
Well, like, the Wii was, like, a good playful name, but at the same time, it was endless amounts of jokes about how it's like, how we like pee.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. The whole industry was all about bad names. I mean, it still is. Like, Microsoft does not come out with a good console name in fucking forever.
Yeah, it's like
They
the
nailed
Xbox.
the first Xbox and it's been downhill ever since.
It's like the Xbox 360, and then you expect it to be like the Xbox, I don't know, like 720 or something, and then it's like
no, it
the
doesn't make sense
Xbox
because
One.
they went from 1 to 360.
Yeah.
But then to just call it the Xbox One, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, like it's their third console, and they're already like doing a fucking movie reboot name for it. And then it's like the next one, it's like the Xbox Series X.
And
I
the
hate-
Series S, oh my god. Like, they never
I
made something
despise.
well.
Sony's
despise
the
those
only
bloody
one.
names.
Sony's the only one that's like PlayStation 1,
Okay, to be
PlayStation
honest,
2,
they had made
PlayStation 3.
the PlayStation 1 was named awful because they had the PS1, like PSONE. That was a different thing.
I mean, different but same. It's a redesign.
Yeah, but then they did it with the PS2 as well. You had the PST2WO.
I have never heard of this. What?
So the PS2
Do you mean the
Slim
flat
came
foot
in two
PS2?
versions. So they made the PS2 Slim, and then they made the PS2 Slim, which is different because it has an integrated power supply. Well, the other, externally they look almost exactly the same. It's just one comes with a power brick, the other you can just plug it directly into the wall. It actually makes difference if you want to soft mod your PS2. You kind of have to get the old model. The new model is not soft moddable. I know because I have it.
Fair.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, hey, Sony only fucks up the hardware, they don't fuck up the name. That's true.
Also,
So broke it
on your
isn't
chat,
like...
What?
Ash.
Oh, no,
You got a bot in your chat.
It's funny because it doesn't even work properly. I don't see the link.
Cheap viewers on asterisk.
Oh, I have a problem with cheap viewers. I want expensive viewers. What is a cheap viewer
Only
going
the
to
most
do for me?
Only
most
the highest
refined
quality
taste.
of viewers on this stream. Thank you very much. I won't associate with those commoner viewers.
Yeah. What the cheap
You
viewer
think I
gonna
am
do?
gutter
They're just gonna
trash?
spam Pepega and whatnot. Like, I want
What
the
about
expensive viewers that
controversial
actually try
viewers?
to say racial slurs, you know?
We want luxury viewers who will actually engage in event.
What if you want like viewers? You just want the viewers that are the equivalent of like.
We don't want viewers. We want people to play niche games that are dead that we want to play again, but need like 30 people for.
We need people so we can play like Kusuge games with or like old multiplayer games that nobody plays.
Yeah.
We need
I
a
need-
community that will play Ratchet and Clank 3 multi.
I need
No,
a
no, no,
community
no,
that
no.
when I say come play Cocaine Diesel, they don't go like, what the fuck are you just say?
Nah, I need viewers who will play goddamn Mega Man 8-bit deathmatch.
Ah, yes. I mean, we did
That's
play
like
it.
the Doom Mega Man thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we played it. We had
I
the
didn't.
No, you probably weren't around still yet.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that. I would have been like,
I
oh,
goddamn
dope.
want to
I
play
knew
that
the
again. I
I
haven't
knew the
touched
guy
in
who made
years.
it. I think I did. It was like
Cutman
oh,
Mike.
like it was Terminate. No, was that how you? No, what was how
Do
you
you
pronounce it
actually want
again? It's
your
been
mic
like
cut?
years. Did he do it, or did he do an update for it? I can't remember. I didn't look too much into the mod. I just
I
know he
need to
uploaded
play
updates
8-Bit
onto his
Deathmatch again.
YouTube.
God, I
I
haven't
need
played
to
in so
check
long.
this. 8-bit death match.
I don't know why I've been on an arena shooter, boomer shooter kick lately. I've been playing Unreal Tournament with a few friends.
Ooh. Yeah, that's what. Okay,
Yeah,
I need people to play fucking Unreal Tournament 2004 Assault mod. I was telling Anvil I want to play the thing so much.
Play what?
Assault mod on Unreal Tournament.
Unreal Tournament 2004.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
it's just the issue with everything else. We just need people.
Honestly, if the timing was right, I'd be down. But the thing is, the timing is never right.
Oh yeah, Festive, about the event. I might not do the Astro Tournament after all, because it's just annoying to deal with. Will you be up for tabletop night?
I don't think I'll be up for tabletop night ever.
Ah.
I'm not a person who has ever touched anything tabletop.
Okay.
Then how do you know if you wouldn't like it?
I don't remember if you saw us playing Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective.
I do not think so. Again, I am not normally interested in that sort of thing.
Okay. It's an experience.
There'd be something you'd enjoy. It's board games. It's like there's literally something for everyone.
Okay, how
I get that, but like,
okay, how about this? How does it sound to have to argue about where the fuck to go in a like? Basically it's a game where you have to solve cases with a sort of like choose your own adventure books, where instead of like chapter you have like locations. You have to visit locations to learn information and like figure out who did it, but you have to do it like by visiting as few places as possible. And at the end, you get presented with some question, you have to try to answer them. And then Sherlock Holmes himself comes in and completely humiliates you by going like, oh, I only went to like half of the places and I figured out everything.
No.
Most of the game, I played with like 4 people, because I usually only play with Anvil, but I played with 4 people once. It is a riot of everyone shouting like, we need to go here, we need to go there. No one wants to make their mind.
I don't think that would be for me.
Okay, cool.
Sorry. Like, I've been wanting to at least look at some tabletop stuff, but I would really, but I need it to be with people I like feel more comfortable with.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like IRL.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, so would war games be on the table for tabletop night?
No, if it's tabletop night, it's gonna be Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, okay. Like I thought it would be like card night, where it'd be like some variation.
My special guest has specified that social deception and that kind of stuff is off the table immediately. And I don't think she cares about war games.
Damn. Do they like the webcomic kill like 8 billion demons?
Fucking no, they're like Toho and Love Live. What the fuck do I know?
Fair. I haven't read the comic myself, but I just hear that it's extremely good, and basically the person that like made their own war game that's like very easy to like pick up or whatever, and like very simplified. It's made for playing online, as opposed to most which are made for playing like
what
on an
else could
actual
we
table.
play actually though? Oh yeah, Zero was like, oh, have you seen GDQ is playing? They made like for the SGDQ they made a Evil Zone tournament. It was like they're playing a bad game. I'm like, are you kidding me? That game is great.
Yeah, you've been wanting to play Evil Zone for a while.
I've been wanting to play Evil Zone for a while, and they made a tournament at GDQ. Oh, I'm so glad.
I know this is not like a board game, but it is a game that like I want to play with people. Like it's not a tabletop game. This is a normal regular game, but it is a board-based party game. I've wanted to play Dokapon Kingdom with people because of how awful it sounds.
Well, I was running it for a while. Then, well, you run it.
Well, it's like I only got to stream it once. It was a great time. Then it's just the issue of like scheduling for the 4 people, because it's a case of like it goes on for like 25 to like 30 hours for a single game.
Yeah.
Like it has a save function because it's like you're not doing it in one sitting.
Yeah. And by God, help you if you're doing like the story mode with people.
Well, that's what I mean. The story mode is like the 25 to 30 hour like single game. So you need the same 4 people for like that full like amount of playtime to get through the entire story.
It's been something I've been really wanting to do at some point, if I can get it together with a few mates.
The thing is, only one person needs to own it, because you can just do Steam Remote Play for the rest.
Yeah.
Because like it's basically the gameplay's just rock paper scissors.
Yeah, but
so
a lot
just
of games you can
like,
tell
you
the
don't even have to worry about
it's
latency,
free, and they will still not play. It's annoying.
Yeah, that is true. Saying it's been impossible to get people to play Ring Racers. It's like it was better than SRB2 Kart, because I managed to get like 3 people to install it, and now they've all uninstalled it because they never launched the game.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
How do you think I feel about like I have tried to get people to play other stuff like 8-bit deathmatch with me. It never happens.
To be fair, it's like that's like the one thing I managed to get people to play a few things I'm into recently, and then I'm shocked when they actually enjoy it and play it by themselves, because I've gotten like 4 different people into like Sky Children of Light, and I have no idea how I pulled that up. I'm going the wrong way. I somehow managed to get like 4 different people into like Sky Children of Light, and I'm like, I don't know how I did this, but I'm happy.
I got 2 of my friends to play to fucking buy Void Stranger, and I didn't even ask them to. One of them was like,
well, like
oh,
I already had it in
my
my wish list. Well, it's like I already knew about it and had it in my wish list. I just couldn't remember it by name because it was so fucking long ago. And then it's kind of like you reminded me of it. I'm like, I was already planning on getting this. It's on sale right now.
Wait, which one?
Fuck it. Void Stranger.
Oh no, I'm talking about 2 other people.
Oh, okay. I thought that I was one of those 2 people. Okay, never mind.
The thing is, one of those, like, they're both people that like knowledge-based game. Like, one really loves Tunic and the other really like Outer Wilds. So,
yeah.
I tell you, like, hey, this is a game that looks like a Sokoban game, but it's actually a knowledge-based game. So the Sokoban is part of it, sadly. I don't like Sokoban.
Sokoban?
Yeah.
Explain?
Sokoban.
I don't remember what that genre is.
It move rocks into places in a grid.
Oh, okay. So like, yeah, because when I saw it, I'm just like, oh, it's like Zelda on the Game Boy. So I didn't know what the genre was called.
Oh my god. Getting absolutely destroyed. Enfield, why did you run me over the funny dreidel?
I didn't even notice. The funny dreidel.
With the garden top.
I don't know. I'm just confused now.
Fair enough. God, my brain is a mess today. I mean, it usually is, but even more so.
Yeah, I've
That is
been
quite
feeling that a
late.
bit myself. I'm wondering if I'm starting to come down with something just because my brain feels a bit more fried than usual.
I don't know. I'm sitting here playing, having this conversation about box games, like, and stuff, and I'm like, man, I like video games with party customization. Like, why does that come up? Brain,
I
what are
mean,
you
like,
doing?
character creation is like, so I'm obsessed with it when it's in a game, and that's why I like hate it when it's like behind a paywall, the cosmetics, and I'm like, why?
No, not character customization. I mean like party customization. I don't mean like visual
Like, what,
customization.
you have like 10 characters and you can only use 3 of them?
I mean, I mean specifically like stuff like, how do I put this? Stuff like the job systems in like
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
Tactics and stuff,
5,
yeah.
or you know, where it's like, you know, you can choose whatever class a character uses, but you can also, you know, mix it with other elements from another class.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. Like,
You
yes,
you
if
might
you
you
put
might
that
like
stuff
the
in.
oh
Mhm.
you might like the Italian-made TTJRPG Fabula Ultima. It's literally just a tabletop like D&D, but it's just entirely built around like Final Fantasy, like job system, trying to like bring it to a tabletop.
I think, honestly, I think that like this specific fascination with like ultra, like super, like customizable classes and party composition is why I like Xenoblade 3 specifically the most.
Oh yeah,
Fair.
Sentai sent me a single player TTRPG.
Oh, I have a few of those. Which one?
I have to look it up.
I
Yeah.
need to actually play one of mine. It's just a case of like, it's so intimidating to start because it's kind of like, how do you do it? And the only way to figure out is to start, but you don't really know how, so you don't, and then you just kind of like, it's just,
Sit
I have to jump the gun and actually do it, but it's just so hard to actually take that first step. Hopefully
I
it's
feel
nothing
that
serious. Hopefully.
I feel that with art, like just normal long RPGs. Just because, you know, because it is a commitment. Something.
Oh, it's like it's a solo TTRPG, so it's just a case of like it's basically just journaling, but then it has like gameplay mechanics, so it's kind of like, you know, they're usually they're designed that you can just pick up and play them like literally anywhere. Like you have like an hour like sitting in a park, you just pull out your notebook and you start playing.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Okay, game.
Talking about class customization in Xenoblade 3 and it being one of the main reasons why I like the game the most.
Yeah.
Like imagine an art, like imagine like in MMO style gameplay, but with fewer cooldowns and less like waiting around for like attack areas and whatever. But there's not just, you know, your class, but also you can take aspects from other classes, like some of their cooldowns and abilities, and put it onto other classes.
Of course, it's Iron Heart, a solo mech exploration.
Oh, I think I heard about that one, but like I haven't looked into it too much. I mean, it's like after COVID, like solo play has been extremely common with TTRPGs, and also like even wargaming. Most wargames now have like a solo option with like rules and like kind of like a behavior board for like game AI, just because it's like, you know, you couldn't meet up during COVID, so here's how you can play by yourself. Kind of like just a built-in feature in most TTRPGs now, or not TTRPGs, war games. But to be fair, it's like with TTRPGs, you can usually like buy a book, and it's basically like an oracle system, I think it's called, that basically just acts as like an AI dungeon master, and then it's like you like draw cards or like roll a dice on tables to get like a very like, you know, randomly generated kind of like tabletop adventure.
Damn it! I fucked up.
God damn it, talking about Xenoblade 3 makes me want to replay it, but it's so long.
Fair.
And I know my dumbass was spending more time than necessary just messing around with the class system. Damn it. Cause like most of the extra classes in Xenoblade 3 are locked behind like side quests, but there's side quests that actually have proper cutscenes and are all fully voiced and everything.
Yeah.
What's like,
Oh,
how
fuck.
is this
I
a
didn't know it
side
was
quest?
corner.
Like, I remember first time playing the game, I was floored by the fact that like like the amount of side content that is fully voiced and has proper cutscenes. It's nuts to me.
Fair.
Especially coming off of earlier Xenoblade games, because the other Xenoblade games didn't have that much effort put into their side stuff. Like Xenoblade 1, none of the side content was voiced, and Xenoblade 2, only some of it was voiced, and even then, they didn't get any proper fully animated cutscenes.
Man, I was
Yeah.
erased. I did nothing.
I liked how the
complaining about
reverse map
Xenoblade a
was
lot,
like
sorry.
daytime, but
Starting to get a bit worried.
Oh yeah, it's daytime. I didn't know this time's actually.
uh,
I do generally apologize about rambling so much about Xenoblade.
We do
It's-
so much.
I just sometimes feel like I barge into conversations and just start talking about one specific thing and nothing else, and I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
No. But I can't help myself because some of these things have such a tight grasp around my brain.
it's your hyperfixation.
Except these fixations stay even after their original expiry date.
That's yeah, because it's a hyperfixation.
I should not be thinking about Pseudo Regalia. The game has been out for a year.
I still think about Resident Evil, like the old ones. Like what? Okay.
Fair. You know what? Fair.
Like I keep saying to people, what really needs to be played as a group is like we need to get like 4 people to do Resident
Play
Evil
Resident
Outbreak.
Evil Outbreak. Yeah. Honestly, it does sound pretty
That
good.
game was so ahead of its time, and it's criminal. It's not. It just needs a PC port and some quality of life updates, and then it's like, just give me that. That's all I want, Capcom. Because like they did the thing like they did with like Resident Evil 2. So when they were gonna do Resident Evil 2 Outbreak, they like updated the Resident Evil 2 website to just be a white screen. They just had the text saying "okay," and then they announced it like, I don't know, like a week later or whatever. Or like sometime after, like a month or like a year. They did the same thing for the Resident Evil Outbreak website. No word since, but like it was like a week or like a month after they announced that fucking Resident Evil 3 Resistance game mode. And it's like, I swear to fuck, if that's what they think counts as Resident Evil Outbreak, I'm gonna fucking scream.
Did you scream?
Well, it's like, I don't know. It's like maybe they're working on like a HD port, but like odds are it's like, I don't know, maybe they're doing a remake, which I really don't want. I just want them to make it like easily accessible and just updated visuals. Like at most, like finish the file 3 content and like restore it. So that way there's like extra content from the original games as well. But like, I don't know. Because they've started like mentioning Resident Evil Outbreak in the canon of Resident Evil. And like reference it like a decent amount. But like there's been no word on like anything Resident Evil Outbreak related outside of that. Like they
reminds me. Sorry, I'm going off track, but it's just another thing that you talk about remakes and Capcom. I'm thinking about what the hell is up with what they're doing with Dead Rising at the moment.
Yeah, I'm like Frank's voice actor is well, like I feel like a reboot is kind of or like a remake's kind of the way they have to go with it because they butchered the franchise so badly.
Yeah, it's funny. I think about the VA and how Frank looks, and my first reaction is and then I remember how old he's supposed to be, and I'm like, I still kind of off-put by it, but at the same time, this makes more sense.
It makes more sense, but like the voice actor's way too iconic. They should have kept the same voice actor.
I've covered wars, you know. I think it's mainly due to the fact that original Frank West from the original game does look very babyface, but so you never really think about how old he's meant to be.
Yeah.
Because like he looks and sounds young. It's like, okay, this isn't weird. It's only kind of weird after the fact when you realize he's like, what? He's in his 50s, 40s.
Is he that old? I don't know.
Okay, but okay, I'm curious. I need to check.
Because like that could be in like the latest game or whatever. I don't know.
Wait. It's done.
Okay, no, he's not that old, but he's 36 still.
Yeah.
Wait. This fucking song. Since when I was in this level?
Maybe it's for the encore version?
Those motherfuckers.
But
Karaku,
yeah, it's like,
why would you do this to me?
I feel like Dead Rising is a victim of the same thing that killed the Saints Row franchise.
Basically, the fact that the people working that ends up working on it after, so like some of the original after time passes, don't know what the hell the appeal is in the first place.
No, it's so basically it's like Saints Row 1 came out and it was like criticized a lot for being a GTA clone, even though it was, if I remember right, it was like regarded pretty well in its own right. 2 especially, but then 2 kind of added some humor in the side content, and it had like a tone very similar to the Yakuza games nowadays. Where it had a very good blend of serious, like, intense drama and like really goofy, dumbass like side content where it's over the top ridiculous.
But the problem is that aspect gets exaggerated more and more on more.
Yeah, so like tonally 3 is kind of fucked, and it's kind of like any like seriousness is kind of like it doesn't hit as hard because of all the goofiness around it. And then it's kind of like the canon end. There's like 2 endings to Saints Row 3. One is you let all your gang members die, like all of your lieutenants die, and your gang gets framed for like a crime, and you all become criminals again. But you get revenge on like the last like villain, or you let the villain escape, and then everyone just and you like save your gang members. If you save your gang members, the canon ending, you do like a movie Gangsters in Space, and it's like goes over the top, and then that leads to being the president of the United States of America, and then like aliens invade, and then you get put into like the Matrix, and you have superpowers, and then like oh god. Meanwhile, like what a lot of like fans of Saints Row say should have been the canon ending is letting your gang members die. Because that is narratively in line with the boss from like Saints Row 2's progression, where he becomes more brutal, more aggressive, willing to do anything to get what he wants, even like sacrificing those he cares about. So most people kind of like think that that's the way it should have went direction-wise, but then they just went wow, like goofy. And then it's kind of like that kind of like fucked up the franchise, and they like went get out of hell, and everyone's kind of like sick of how over the top it is because it gets boring pretty quick, or like it gets overdone real quick. Compared to Saints Row 2, which is like still like holds up kind of like for me at least. But then like they tried to like reboot it with Saints Row, the like new one, and then it's kind of like it's like they seem to have like instead of like just doing it like the original, they're like, okay, we're gonna do it a new and better way. We're gonna make it a millennial power fantasy. It's gonna be about a bunch of college kids with no money, or like college graduates who are all broke, and they start a gang to make money as like and then it's like, and they're gonna be larpers, and then they're gonna have like the main bad guy be like a guy who's just really wants friends, so he becomes evil and betrays them all so he can, and it's just like it's just so fucking stupid and bad like narratively, and it's just like oh god. So it's like it's similar to Dead Rising, because you have the first Dead Rising, which is like extremely good. You have the second one, which is very similar. It's a bit more goofy, you know, like Chuck Green, like the over-the-top weapons or whatever, but it's still like mostly serious and like, you know, similar in tone to the first game. Then you have like Dead Rising like 3, where they go a lot more goofy with it. Not as much as like say Saints Row 3, but very similarly. Yeah. And then like they kind of take it in a drastic new direction that's like very different from the previous two titles. Like, but you know, it's still arguably good. Yeah. Then you have like Dead Rising 4, which is kind of a lot like the Saints Row reboot, because it's like it takes place in Willamette Mall, the same place as Dead Rising 1. You play as Frank, but like it's in the future and it's a new zombie outbreak. So it's like it's happening again in the same place, but then it's like we'll give him an exosuit so he has like really cool powers, and like we're gonna make this narrative way more goofy. Frank's a real wacky guy. He's a funny man.
By funny and wacky guy, you mean a completely different person who was just straight up an asshole.
Yeah, and then you have like with Saints Row 4, it had like Get Out of Hell, which kind of became a standalone game, but like was basically just meant to be DLC. And then where it's like extremely over the top, where you're Johnny Gat and you're fighting the devil so you can save the boss from an arranged marriage with like the devil's daughter. Meanwhile, the Dead Rising 4 equivalent is, hey, Frank got bit and turned into a zombie, but he's a good zombie, so you get to play as zombie Frank and fight zombies as a zombie. And then Frank's a special zombie, so they can cure him. So he's no longer a zombie, and he escaped.
It doesn't help that just the gameplay itself is just worse.
Yeah, no, it's like a very soulless game, and it's like the psychos are like non-existent, which is the main appeal of the game, of like the bosses in the games.
All the leveling stuff is awful. The weaponry is just so much worse than the original, like both in variety and how it actually feels to use.
Yeah.
Not to mention just vehicles in general kind of make like fighting zombies kind of, you know, because you can just drive through them, and it's not like free where at least the vehicles are going to wear very quickly.
Like,
the whole gimmick was, you know, driving through piles of zombies.
Yeah, like, something that was, like, really cool about, Dead Rising 2 in particular is it had the two, like, standalone DLCs, or, like, expansions, I guess you would say. So there was one before the game came out, which was kind of like a preview, which, like, you know, it's not, like, that impressive or, like, good, I guess you'd say, but, like, it's basically a prequel. It's like you're in a small, like, rural town that got taken over by the zombies that kind of spread out from, like, Las Vegas getting infected. Which is, like, you know, that's where, like, Chuck's wife got, like, bitten and, like, turned and bit, like, their daughter or whatever. And then you have one that takes place after Dead Rising, where Frank West and Chuck Green team up to go to a fucking secret lab to, like, uncover the truth. And it was so fucking cool. And I was like, I can't wait for the continuation of this. Never happened. Like, they did went a completely different direction with 3. Like, Frank shows up, but he's just like a biker boss now. Because I guess him and Frank gave up and went their separate ways, and then I don't fucking know. Like, 3 wasn't too bad, but it was just they went in a very different direction that kind of was like, why aren't you continuing the plot lines? Funnily enough, actually, that's something that happens with Saints Row as well. Why are there so many similarities with Dead Rising and Saints Row? Because in Saints Row 2, the big plot point they set up in the DLC is Dex, who was a gang member in the first game that betrays the gang and blows you up in a fucking boat. So, oh, I know that was no, he helped plan that or whatever. But, like, basically, he's, like, set up to be the main antagonist of Saints Row 3. It's never mentioned in Saints Row 3. Never mentioned in Saints Row 4, apart from, like, you know, little, like, jabs or whatever. He's only mentioned in brought up in Get Out of Hell as a joke collectible where you just murder generic zombies with purple bandanas that are just called Dex.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at I'm looking at what Cass said in chat, and I'm like, I know this is a joke, but for some reason, Tetsunoko versus Capcom, Frank West just dead ass says Dead Rising and is like level 3.
Oh god.
I know this is like meant to be a joke, but he dead ass does that.
Also, see,
I know.
see, Festive.
It cracks me up.
Never apologizes for rambling.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Right, I should ramble more.
No, I think there's nothing wrong with rambling. It's just a case of, like, not over. Well, like, how do I, like, it's kind of a case of, like, getting your point across, but then, like, kind of going with the conversation a bit, or, like, you know, what am I saying? I was going to say, like, not beating a dead horse, but then I keep going on about fucking Ruby all the time.
Well, put context.
Like,
fucking Ruby is in derogative or whatever, explicative.
What?
You don't go on about fucking Ruby. You go on about.
Oh
Ruby.
yeah, I don't read the fanfics, so. God, I remember when like I was in a community and there was a guy doing Ruby fanfics where it was him and like Ruby Rose getting spicy, and this dude's like an adult, and then like Ruby Rose back then was canonically like a 16-year-old, and it's just like,
They should make almost. They should make like Ruby gay in the fanfics. This is funny.
Oh,
Actually,
because of
is she
the meme where she's
canonically
homophobic.
in the fanfic? That would be even funnier.
Oh god. See, I like, oh god. You see, I hate how, oh god. I'm like trying to hold myself back from going on the fucking Bumblebee rant again. It's like
When do you want to end, by the way, Time?
Oh, okay. Whatever.
I was just pushing because I wanted to play this, just to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, we can stop now then if you want.
Also, what are we gonna play tomorrow? I have an idea. Sailor Moon?
Sure. That sounds good.
Sailor Moon, like, are we? What Sailor Moon are we talking?
The
Trading card game.
Okay. Because here's the thing: the only Sailor Moon game I know about is that crappy SNES fighter.
You mean the Arc System one?
the one with dumb shit like attacks that do more chip damage than regular damage.
Yeah, that's the one with. Have you seen the Sailor Jupiter wiki page?
I think I have.
It's great.
Send me a link later. I'm curious. Also, I'll leave. Since we're ending soon, I will leave stream with one singular fact about Xenoblade, without any context.
Go.
Rex from Xenoblade 2 ends up having 3 wives. Canonically.
That's pretty nice, I guess.
I kept seeing artwork of that, and I just assumed it was some kind of like it wasn't an actual thing. So he gets the cat girl and the 2 swords.
Yep. I'm not gonna explain it.
Well then.
It is pretty funny though. I will say though,
like you could make the excuse with the 2 swords, because aren't they like I don't know much about the game, but I get the impression that they're the same entity, but like only one of them can be out at a time, so they're like technically one person.
Yes and no. It's
by the end of the game, is it like they get like separated or something?
Yes, but also essentially what happens is the like one of them get created as like a front for the other in a sort of way, but then beyond time it just they become basically their own separate person, but you know they're still the same entity, like they still share the same space. So it's less like, so it's more like it's basically one person ending up manifesting a whole other person.
Oh, okay.
There is a lot of context I would have to go through if I had to explain that properly.
Cass, you don't want to say that.
I'm just thinking of when I was.
Despite everything.
All I can think of now is when I used to do like a text-based RP, and there was a guy who had like 2 wives, and he really wanted to try and go for that 3rd.
The funny thing is it's honestly it's honestly not even Rex who's like.
I mean, 3 is better than 2.
It's all. God damn it! I mean, you're not wrong, but.
Okay, that was the last one for me.
It's cute, but I'm not. All I'll say is there's a lot about it, but one thing I will say about it is you don't learn about it in Xenoblade 2, you learn about it in 3, and it's so out of nowhere.
Okay.
Everyone who first saw it got like mental flashbang when they first learned about it. And it's so funny.
Who are we rating? Is there anyone online to raid?
I would like to raid. Well, Eddie too. Just playing Elden Ring, so. Haha. Wait, what's it?
After that entire rant, we're raiding someone playing Elden Ring. Oh.
I mean, sure. Oh, I think it's Uranus, it's not Jupiter. Wait, is that not? Did they change it? So now the wiki's on Dustloop, but it doesn't. The article doesn't sound as funny. Sadly. But yeah,
Man.
yeah. Uranus is banned in most tournaments because she has literally game-breaking moves.
Doesn't surprise me.
Now that game is broken everywhere, but the thing with Uranus is she can walk the entire screen in like 15 frames.
That is one of the things I actually remember hearing. Just like, oh yeah, I can work full screen for you.
Yeah, and yeah.
Footsies will not know. There is no neutral. I am the neutral.
No, I feel like Uranus play she's just cheat mode. Okay, I'll start the raid for Eddie too.
Okay.
And this is gonna be the raid message. Of course. Of course, the best way to use it is to repeat it a bunch of times. You know, gotta get that. If you don't have the emote, you can get it for the usual 24 hours. It's 80 channel points. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Sailor Moon card games. Hopefully, maybe something else. I have to see actually how playable it is.
Fair.
But yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.